Welcome into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you on this Wednesday afternoon. We're Sports Time, and we're with you for the next 3 hours. Darian Newsom with us as well on the board, and a ton to get to today. It's draft day for the NBA. Here in just a couple of hours, we'll start hearing names of players and where they will start their NBA careers. We've also got a new athletic director for the University of Memphis. As always on a Wednesday afternoon, we got to talk golf, make some golf picks for this weekend's tournament. So a ton to get to over these next 3 hours. But, Brett, how are you this afternoon?
Brian, I'm well, and I hope this is the last draft day for a long time that's this important to the Memphis Grizzlies. Like we said about a ping pong ball night, we don't want to be too interested in that every year.
Sure.
On that night at playoff time, we want to be interested in advancing in that bracket, winning a game, waving towels, and having a big time at FedEx Forum. But this is where we are, and we knew for a long time that tonight would be very important, and it is very important for the future of this franchise. It doesn't need a lot of help, but it needs help. Yep. And in the West, if you're not getting better, you're falling way behind.
No, you're absolutely right. And you look at how strong the West is, and it feels like at any minute could get even stronger. And with trades and free agency and everything out there, and had a big trade last night that did not involve the West, but then right after
and it was hilarious. The Knicks think they're close to the Celtics.
Well, hey, Brett, when you've got Villanova out there for you with the Knicks, the entire Villanova squad, who knows? But that happened, and then immediately after that, you start getting reports that the Houston Rockets are trying to get as many assets possible together so that they can float out a trade for either Kevin Durant or Devin Booker. So, it feels like the West is always moving. Teams are always trying to add. Teams are always trying to get better. And it makes for a incredibly difficult conference to be a part of.
For a great, great player that's one-way trip bound for Springfield, Kevin Durant's getting close to playing for everybody, isn't he?
He is. He's one of those players that you get the card and you look at the back of it and it's a whole lot of.
It's immaculate grid.
It sure is. No, he is.
And I'd take him in Memphis right now.
I would take him any second, Brett. I would love to have KD on my team.
I think he's got a lot left,
sure.
and maybe somewhere one more championship.
Oh, yeah. I think that's definitely fair. And, a great player and, in that upper echelons of great players currently in the NBA and certainly all time as well. So, I think any team wants it. That's why I almost kind of laughed last night.
He could be in that top 10 argument. I don't want to have that today.
No.
And I don't really ever want to do it because you end up having to criticize and denigrate a legend.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody of legendary.
Sure.
Who wants to go out and rip Oscar Robertson?
Well, and then that's where we get to the point where you have people that throw out, oh, well, they were playing plumbers back in the day, and that's why he was so good.
Mr. Foulmouth himself said that.
Yes, that's right, J.J. Redick. But I almost laughed.
His press conference did not bother me.
Nah, it didn't bother me either. But I almost laughed last night when I saw that report from the Rockets because, who doesn't want to try to get as many assets to get Kevin Durant?
I'd take Devin Booker.
Sure, yeah, any day.
I'd drive to Phoenix and drive him to Memphis if he'd ride with me in my vehicle.
Yeah, it's that idea is great until I see something that is they have proposed this trade. This is the offer that the Rockets have for Kevin Durant. It's all talk right now.
We expect a lot of heat tonight, don't we, at FedEx Forum?
Yeah.
At 91 Bill. We expect blockbuster, don't we?
Yeah.
What is blockbuster? You just know it when you see it?
Yeah, I think blockbuster is what everyone's hoping they do, and it's trade
that
up
is it.
And get clanging.
We'll know it, and we'll know if it's on the margins.
Yeah.
And if it stays at 9.
Sure.
And I don't think that necessitates being ripped.
No.
Do you? Or even being
I want them
slightly
to stay at 9.
criticized?
No, I want them to stay at 9. I think I've made it clear how I feel. I think a great draft is them staying at 9 and not moving up. But I'm kind of on an island. So
I'm saving it for my big number of the
okay.
day. It's going to be 9. And I went through all the drafts since we've had a team.
Okay.
The 9 spot has not been great lately.
Okay. I'm trying to think. I mean, I can't even tell you who was 9 last year.
I can, only because I looked it up today.
Yeah. Can you
Taylor Hendricks.
Yeah.
Central Florida, Utah. I don't know that I watched a single second of him last year.
Yeah, I think I don't know how much he played. I know he had some injuries going into
Jeremy Sochan, Baylor.
Oh yeah, starting point guard for the Spurs last year, Brett. I mean, good lord. And
back-to-back years, Baylor. David Mitchell, 2021.
Player.
Help me with pronunciation here. 2020 for Washington, and that was the November draft because of COVID.
Oh.
Denny Avdia.
I now you said it and I lost it. You said it wrong, and
I'm sorry.
And I have to see it again. Help me out, Darian. I have to see the name again before I can say it.
Avdia.
Advia, yeah.
Okay.
He's a good
2019, player. Washington. You know who they took?
At number 9, 2019. I have no idea. You're about to give away the entire list. We're going to sit here for the next 10 minutes and you're going to read the list. 2019,
because we thought going into ping pong ball night, that would be kind of where the Grizzlies would be, and ended up being great with Jaron in 2019 to Washington. Rui Abdul-Jabbar Hashimura.
Rui Hachimura. Gonzaga great. How about that?
Only became Abdul-Jabbar Hashimura when he got traded to the Lakers
that's right.
and broke our hearts in Game 1 at FedEx Forum 14 months ago.
I'm interested to see I'm interested to hear your big number at 445 with the
It's going to be 9
picks. Oh, well,
but
I want to hear what the behind it. I want to hear all these names.
Oh, it ties into more than this.
I like naming names, and that's kind of the great thing about the draft. Is it's just a night of naming names, and
we got in a 3-year stretch, 9, 10, and 11 in the 9 spot. 2009, DeMar DeRozan. 2010, Gordon Hayward. 2011, Kemba Walker.
Well, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Take any of that heat.
I'll take those guys every day. But 9 could look a little different tonight. We'll see. I mean, there's a couple that I'd be fine with at 9. There's one that I would love at 9. But there's a couple I'd be fine with, and some I would not be fine with.
Way back, Kevin Love's dad, Stan Love, drafted
that?
number 9.
Oh, Stanley
Way
Love.
back
How
when.
about that?
Yeah. Played at Oregon. He rivaled Bill Walton as the highest man of the 70s. And I say that complimentary.
Of course. I mean, I were you
because Stan was hanging out with his cousins, the Beach Boys.
That's awesome.
And look, they call them flower children for a reason.
Yeah,
they were having a good time. I don't blame them.
Pet sounds.
Make love, not war.
All that type of stuff, A
lot of Grateful Dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of Dead, a lot of Beach Boys, a lot of Mamas and Papas.
No, the Mamas and Papas, what a group.
Yeah.
Now I'm excited for. I will say this, and I was talking to one of my buddies last night about this. I love the draft. It's something I look forward to every year. No matter if it's the NBA draft, NFL draft, I'm just a guy that I like to sit down and watch the draft. I have never been less excited for a first round of a draft than I am tonight. I mean,
because of the talent level?
Because of the talent level. I do not think this is a very good
You
draft
think it's that bad? So what grade would you give the pool of potential draftees?
I don't know, like a C, maybe?
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it's very good. I mean,
I think we're being repetitive, but is it because of the international effect?
There's definitely some of that to it.
Now, Brian, I would say if anybody knew that international scene, it would be you among the two of us.
Yes, I would.
You're not going to be me breaking down the Lithuanian national team.
I would agree with that. I don't pay attention to much international either. So that's definitely part of it. But I
hope Fran Fraschilla has a role tonight, especially as international laden as this is.
I would love
because
that.
He's in a league of his own, breaking it down.
You're absolutely right. I would love that. But I think you just look at the rumors and what's going on around the top of the draft, and I think it screams that this is not a very strong draft. I mean, you've got who's going to be taken number 1, and it's not like, oh, this guy's better than this guy's better than this guy. It's just like, I don't know. It could be this kid from France. It could be Donovan Clingan. Alex Sarr doesn't even want to work out for this team. It just seems like a mess at the top, and I don't like it.
I do think, especially with the NBA draft, only 2 rounds, and now over 2 days, that might help it. I do think we've gotten a little nitpicky with all the Hollinger Purr and the sabermetrics and the Bobby Marks critiques and all that with these players. And by the time their name's called, they've been devalued.
Yeah. No, that's definitely a good point.
Set a clock on a drinking game on tonight before somebody criticizes Dalton Connect's age.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely first thing that's said. I mean, it's going to be congratulations he got drafted, but he's older. He's not a young guy. This guy coming in is going to be
like he's getting ready to go to elder care.
I mean, yeah, it's incredible. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens tonight.
Can he produce? Can he do anything close to in the NBA what he did in college? This year.
Yeah, and I would say that a guy with more age, especially in a draft like this, is probably more helpful to a team immediately because they have that maturity. They know their game better than some of these younger players.
I think we really do micro too fine of a breakdown of criticism and analysis of the U.S. players, the players from college.
Sure. And I mean,
because we've seen Ron Holland no more than we've seen. Help me, Buzel's first name.
Matas.
Matas.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen Ron Holland any more or less than Matas Buzelis.
No, you absolutely haven't. But both
and nobody else in this market talking about it today has either.
No, but I would love both of those guys. If Matas, who I think is mocked 5-ish right now, if he fell to 9. I say take him. If Ron Holland's there when you're at 9, I say take him. I would love both those guys. I think both of them are good players. I think Ron Holland, if we do, and I'm saying this now, maybe we bring it back up tomorrow. If we did our day after the draft, who's the Hall of Famer out of this first round? Ron Holland's my pick. Okay, I'll go ahead and say it. Ron Holland's my pick.
You going Ron Holland?
I'm going Ron Holland. I mean, this guy is a great
Do I have to reveal today?
No. Save yours for tomorrow. But
I don't need to.
Okay,
Donovan Clingan.
Wow. Okay. Wow. You much higher on Donovan Clingan than I am. Much.
I love him.
Well, that's good.
And won't we know first picks at 7 Central?
Well, no. First pick will be at like 7:20, 7:30.
Okay, right.
Yes, but 7 is when.
Won't we know by 7:15 if there's Grizzlies movement up for Clingan?
Probably
8 at the latest.
Yeah, 8 certainly. Because
cards got to be shown pretty early, don't they?
Definitely. When that's the thing.
I mean, this is no 2:00 in the morning thing.
No.
With the press availability at FedEx Forum.
Now, one thing I will say is there's a lot of talk right now about Grizzlies have to get up to number 3. I don't think the Grizzlies have to get up to number 3. I think like
for Clingan.
For Clingan, I don't think he.
Well, it's moving that way. It feels like.
But who takes Clingan? I mean, do we really think the Spurs are going to take him?
That's my sleeper.
Really?
You just took it out.
I don't buy the Spurs taking Clingan.
That's what they do.
I just think that's a smoke screen.
They've had really good luck with
that. That's
what
they
do. But they
Twin Towers.
Wembanyama's a 3.
They had a 4 on point guard last year.
I know.
I mean, they got to go get a guard, but they do have the 4 and the 8 or 7, one of the two.
They have 2 lottery picks.
Yeah, they get 2
Darian,
lotteries.
I'm with you. And
that's
and
what.
Brian,
and then
go ahead. Go ahead, Darian.
I'm going to say that's what Popovich does. He plays defense by
there you go.
Offense. He's going to keep Clingan from us.
That's true.
And Darian, you nailed it. And especially if he can put the you-know-whats to us.
Twin Towers.
Well,
he hates us.
Well.
Wanted to strip us of being alive.
And
when
he will
we
not trade.
Traded Powell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's my sleeper.
Maybe
Clingan
I'm so low on Clingan that maybe that's blinding me from him being taken at 4. I don't know. I don't think he's a good prospect.
Right. We fundamentally are very rarely North Pole, South Pole.
We're completely North Pole, South Pole.
We might disagree, but it's very rare that the spread is that decided that we are, and we're that on Edie.
We are that on Edie as well. I don't like either of those.
Man, who knew it'd take to the NBA draft for us to have a brawl?
Here's the thing. I say Donovan Clingan, number 22 in the draft, perfectly fine with that. It's fine. It's great. You know?
22?
Well, here's where I'm going with this. Well, here's where I'm going with this, Brett.
I've missed bad on draft,
Brett,
but I think, okay.
Here's where I'm going with this. Walker Kessler was taken number 22 2 years ago.
And who was the advocate?
You were the advocate of it. He was the fourth center taken in that draft. I think they're the exact same player. I mean, I think they are.
Oh, no.
I think Donovan Clingan is Walker Kessler. I mean,
I think he's much more skilled.
Really?
Much more skilled, yeah. Much more skilled.
I don't know. I'm just not sold on him.
See, my Kessler is my second round dream.
That's true.
PJ Hall.
But, I mean, this defensive big rim protector.
I'm trying to think of the
Kessler
last time I
was
sent.
better defensive rim protector than
Of course, we
Clingan
won't get Hall news until tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be late tomorrow. If
So
we
I
get
could
that.
we could be on the air. I may
could.
break out first tweet in 27 months. I may have the firework emoji just a 1,000 times if the Grizzlies take PJ Hall tomorrow afternoon.
I hope for your sake that the Grizzlies do draft PJ Hall. We'll see. But I'll stand on it.
I'll buy season tickets if they do.
Okay.
Lower level.
Okay.
You can't get any. I know. No, I can't say that.
Yeah, you'll just have to get whatever
it's
tickets you can get. I mean,
it's amazing what the Grizzlies have done in renewals and in this tough patch we've been in the last 16 months to keep ticket sales where they are.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows we're going to get through this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's taken a little while, but we're going to get through it.
But I think
we're going to have good times again.
Sure, and I think
they want to be a part of it. They want to be a part of it with John, Jaron, and Bain.
You're absolutely right. I think today is the start of that kind of. Hey, it's a new season. It's a new year. Everyone's healthy. Things are going to get back right. And so
Hope springs eternal.
That's right. So I think today.
But I really believe it. I'm not just.
Oh no, for sure.
Waving the flag.
Yeah. So we're going to talk a lot of draft today with being the big night later tonight, 7:00 on ESPN and ABC. But let me set up today's show before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30. We got to talk about the new athletic director for the University of Memphis. Ed Scott was announced the new AD earlier this morning. So we'll talk about that at 3:30, what he brings to the table, what this means, and maybe even some priorities. Maybe the checklist. Pull out the checklist, things for him to get done as AD.
And we are for it.
Oh, absolutely. I really like this hire
I do too.
A lot. 3:45, we'll talk more about the NBA draft. Who knows where we'll go at 3:45. We might just talk Clingan the entire time and yell at each other about Clingan. Who knows? I don't know.
Oh, Darren, look out. We're going to throw down.
Hey, I don't want to, but we'll see. 4:00, John Gowen from Timber Trust Golf will join us to talk.
We'll definitely throw down over golf picks.
We'll I mean,
they've been ugly all year,
and that's the thing, Brett. We don't throw down about anything, but when it comes to the golf picks, I mean,
we do. That's what we fight about.
It's a different game. That's
exactly
the golf
course.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Punches thrown.
Exactly. So we'll talk that at 4:00 with John Gowen. 4:30, we'll talk some baseball. 4:45, we'll get to big number of the day. 5:00, Rob Fisher from the Grizzlies television broadcast, also Grind City Media. He'll join us to talk NBA, a lot of draft talk with him as well. He's been trying to avoid draft talk for a while, but he's going to be
has to tonight
on the Grind City Media. They're doing a special tonight
big
for the
party.
Draft, so he'll be on that. So hopefully he'll have good draft insight for us at 5:00. 5:30, we'll get to what's trending. 5:45, wrap up today's show like we always do with Taco Bell Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. Summer is here and it's time to party. 24-foot above ground pool for $19.99, and all of the sales and discounts they've got, all ladders, filter systems, and robotic cleaners, 20% off. Select in-stock patio furniture, up to 50% off. Play gyms, up to $1,000 off, and patio umbrellas, 20% off. Also, 4-person hot tubs, only $29.99. And don't forget about the discounted pricing on all in-stock pool toys and floats while supplies last. So head over to Family Leisure, 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40.
Produced by Darian Newsom. We're Sports Time. He's Brian. I'm Brett. We're with you until 6 o'clock, and we want you to join us by texting or calling at 901-360-8255. That's the Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line, and all our guests will appear on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest line at 901-360-8255. This hour of our show brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2024 models and always special leasing options. Driving luxury and confidence knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Call them at 901-334-9673, but they want you to stop by the one and only Lexus dealership in town at 2600 Ridgeway and put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2024 flagship LS500. You'll be looking and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and they make for the luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story has to be the announcement earlier today, about 3 or 4 hours ago, from the University of Memphis. Historic. They've got their guy, Ed Scott, the new director of athletics for the university, the first African-American AD in school history. So definitely a big-time hire for the University of Memphis. But I love his background, what he brings to the table. I think from Virginia, obviously has stops before that as well, but most recently at Virginia. And
I wonder if he was here last year when the Tigers put it on the Cavs.
That's a great question. He might have
maybe
been.
the best the Tigers ever played in the Penny Hardaway era.
You're definitely right. That was an incredible game.
Somebody ask him that tomorrow when they introduce him.
Got to. But one thing that I love that he brings to the table is his fundraising abilities. That's something I've heard a lot of people talk about.
He's got
him
that touch
as a fundraiser. And Brett, we know right now, especially with the new stadium, fundraising is definitely going to be huge.
Fundraising and football.
Fundraising and football. That's right, the two Fs. Ross Dellinger was the first to report it, that they would be hiring him away. Ed Scott was actually has AD experience in the past. He was the AD at Morgan State, where he won several athletic director awards and very well regarded by his peers as an athletic director. So I really like this hire. He also was a baseball player in college, which I like, and hope that means come in. Obviously, number one football, basketball, those are the two important ones, but still keep an eye on baseball. They've got some momentum going for them. Not let that get away and kind of be on the back burner. And I think with his history in baseball, he'll definitely make sure he keeps an eye on that sport. So I really like this hire, and I think everything I've heard has been overwhelmingly positive for this hire.
And I think the whole community will rally around Dr. Ed Scott and his family and welcome them to a great place to live, and at a time in college athletics where the Tigers in Memphis, we need him. We need him to come through and be successful. My top story, it's draft night, and we can all dream of wizardry from the front office. The Wiz Kids, well, it's been a while since any wizardry from Kleiman and Company. Really kind of rested on the laurels of good drafts past, of good moves in the past. But you gotta feed the monster, and that, because that expiration date close to expiring on the good stuff from the past. We hope that this is the last draft, that we're really watching this closely for a while. We sure hope it's the last ping pong ball night we had to participate in. I'm ready for the Grizzlies to get it right and ready for the Grizzlies to have a good night tonight, and I think there will be a lot of movement.
Not top story of the day.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting night in the draft. I mean, this draft feels so wide open, and that's my not top story of the day. Rumors all over the place about teams that might move up, teams that might move down. Heck, we even have the number one prospect in this draft not working out for the team with the number one pick. It just feels like this draft has so many elements to it, to what different people think about some of the top tier prospects, to like I mentioned, players not working out for teams with premier picks, to all of the movement that we could see later tonight. The Grizzlies have been a team that it seems like every time you hear about teams that could move up in this draft, they've been one of the prominent names in there. We know the guy that they want to go get and that they're eyeing. It's the big man from UConn. We'll see if they can move up, where they'll have to move up, what it will take to move up in this first round to get a guy. If they do it, we'll see what happens. If they stay at 9, I think there are good options there as well. We've talked a lot about Dalton Knecht after his season at Tennessee. I think what he can bring to the table as a shooter and as a scorer immediately. I think a guy that is older, more mature, mature, will know his role coming off the bench and just kind of giving minutes here and there. But also there are other guys. Ron Holland, I think, is a great prospect, a guy that before he kind of went into the unknown abyss of G League Ignite was the number one prospect in this draft. And now there are some people saying he could slip out of the top 10, which is just crazy to think about. I think there's good players out there at 9. If the Grizzlies can't trade up and have to stay at 9, I think they'll be absolutely fine there. I know there's still the idea maybe trade down. That feels now like the least possible scenario, is them moving back.
And that's the
into
least
the draft.
exciting one.
And that's definitely the least exciting one. And I would rather them either trade up or stay
That's
at 9.
settling for Carter from Providence, isn't it?
Depends on how far back you're trading back, but yeah, that he could definitely be in the mix, and could be in the mix at number 9. I've seen some mock drafts where he's 8, 9, 10, so I think he's actually the betting favorite to go 9th. So we'll have to see. Only a couple hours away from Showtime.
My not top story, the Knicks really do believe they can catch the Celtics. They really think they're on par with the Celtics. Knicks fans, you won one series this playoff season. I know it's magical. I know it's Madison Square Garden. I know so many in the media and the media capital of the world, they all love you, and all the stars are sitting around the court. You're not close to the Celtics. Are you seeing some of these responses on Twitter to like Brian Geltzeiler and Keith Smith about the Celtics-Knicks give and take? One Knicks fan said, well, what did the Celtics do this year? They won 82 games with regular season and playoffs included. Yeah. Huh. The Knicks aren't close to that. You know what the Knicks are?
What's that?
They're the NBA version of Texas A&M.
Oh, man. Wow.
And one Jack.
Wow, I like that. That's
next spring will be 52 years since Red Holtzman won his second and final championship with the Knicks in '73.
Yeah, that's right. It's been a long time, Brett. But hey, now they got the Villanova connection, Brett. You saw how well that worked for him last year. You got another one. Hey, Jay Wright, you want a job? I mean,
look out, Thibodeau.
I mean, hey, I think you got to have an eye behind your back at all times. I mean, good Lord. Well, I'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's go ahead and get to our first break. When we come back, we're talking more about the new AD hire. Ed Scott was announced earlier today. We'll talk more about that decision next on Sports Time.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event, and it's going strong at Gossett Kia on the Pike. Are you ready to ride in your new Kia with 41 MPG Highway? We Gossett! 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $199 a month, $34.99 to a signing. How about 282 miles of EPA estimated range with new 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month. And 2024 Kia Telluride LX3, $57 a month, both $39.99 to its signing, all 24-month lease. And get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Call Bobby J. He's ready to put you in your new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Rebates and incentives. Lease includes PF 695, 650 acquisition fee, EV6 P561 0964, MSRP 50,200, Telluride RG 510 849, MSRP 38305, Forte LXS RE 780 169, MSRP 21820. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 6/30/2024 with approved credit, dealer stock only.
Buster's Butcher at 199 South Highland Street in Memphis. We're a full-service butcher shop offering a curated selection of quality meats, cheeses, prepared foods, and more. At Buster's, our skilled butchers are also experienced chefs. They'll be delighted to guide you on selecting, preparing, and cooking our fine selection of products. We're like nothing else you can find in Memphis. Learn more at bustersbutcher.com and come see why every cut counts at Buster's Butcher.
To shop at Genesis Tires. Lowest interest rates on the class. 0 interest for 5 years with nothing down. Tires running out. We have a Genesis Sunday to do this. How about a $6,000 GIA
I'm Kareem Abdul I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit NoTimeToWait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
I've got him on the line, Rock and Ronnie Smith. And Ronnie, I hear it's the Make This the Summer event going on now at Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat.
That's right, Randy. I've got 2024 Ram 1500 Tradesman Quad Cab 4-wheel drive, $649 a month.
Man, that is awesome. What else you got, Ronnie?
2024 Jeep Gladiator Sport 4-wheel drive, $659 a month.
That's a hot deal on Gladiator Sport. What else you got?
Get super power in a 2023 Charger RT Skypack, $698 a month. That's $8,600 off MSRP.
So drive past the rest and come to the best at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the bike. Or shop online anytime at GossettMotorCars.net. 5,000 down. Ram RN 194282 MSRP 48,595. Jeep RL 116172 MSRP 51690. Charger PH 612877 MSRP 55110. Price includes all rebates and incentives and excludes PF 695. Payments include PF 695. All exclude tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Dealer stock only.
Keep it twisted all year long. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea is real iced tea that packs a punch with 5% alcohol. Tastes great at the beach, the mountains, or even in the backyard. Look for the bright yellow Twisted Tea flavors.
Responsibly.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus Superiors. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Sportsworthy and Brian Gates.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Brian and Brett with you in our Family Leisure studio, and I know a lot of people excited about the draft tonight, but also a ton of excitement around Tigers athletics today as it's been announced they have hired their new AD, and I'm actually a little surprised how fast it took. They kind of set the range, kind of wanted it done before 4th of July, kind of gave that time as kind of the timeline. But now we know today on June 26th, they've got their guy, Ed Scott. He comes from the University of Virginia, where he was the associate athletic director. And I really like this hire. We talked about it a little bit in that first segment. I think he brings a lot from what I've heard, very well regarded from his peers. Other athletic directors around the country seem to love him. And the fundraising, which we know right now especially is kind of the biggest thing for the Tigers. And so I think, coming in and getting right to work with fundraising, excited to see what he can do.
Congratulations to Dr. Scott. I love this hire for this reason, Bryant. I love that committee, and I like that Dr. Hargrave let them work. He established it. He appointed the members of the committee, and they went and they found their choice for the job. It was a great selection. I'm sorry for some of the people that did not get it, that I think would have served very well. This is surprising to me. I thought it would be. I don't want to throw names out, but I thought it might have been somebody that either had a current or past tie with the university. They saw something that in Dr. Scott that they found intriguing and worth giving him the job over. And I hope it's this: Virginia, ACC. We think there's going to be movement there with the Florida State pending lawsuit and maybe another travel partner or two leaving the ACC, then that could open up slots for the University of Memphis that I think would be a natural. Would it be the ACC, the Tobacco Road ACC that we all kind of stereotype and think of in the past? Probably not. There are very few leagues that fit that bill anymore.
No, you're right about that.
Even in the SEC, and the SEC is very proud of this, it is still contiguous. You can still get in your car in Amarillo, Texas, and drive to Charleston, South Carolina, and never leave SEC country.
That's right.
They're very proud of that. But just how tight-knit are you when you literally span from Columbia, Mo to Columbia, South Carolina?
Well, it's a good point.
But that's where we are now. So I like that. I like that in his background. we know some of the things that he has to prioritize. For me, this will really be about the fourth or fifth AD in kind of my adult life. R.C. Johnson did a good job. Then Tom Bowen. Tom did a good job on football. Tom's worst enemy was Tom. Then I thought Laird Veach did a great job holding, just kind of plugging the dam with the times that he got handed, the cards that he got handed. Heck, Brian, to make it out with your sanity.
Oh, man.
There was some times in there. So now it's for Dr. Scott, and I wish him well. I think he's, first and foremost, he has to prioritize conference. We've got to get out of the AAC.
Sure.
I mean, you just change one letter, and you think of the feeling around town.
Sure.
From AAC to ACC.
It's a big difference, Brett.
I think that's got to be priority number one. Stadium issues, fundraising we talked about, and this is a good problem. If this Tiger football season is what it frankly should be, and sure can be, and at 12-0, hosting or 11-1, hosting AAC championship game, winning that game, getting in the college football playoff. After that, house money, whatever happens. If you win, it's the biggest upset and biggest win in school history. If you don't, great year. He's got to have 3 or 4 names right now, today, on the ready if big school came after Ryan Silverfield in December.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Just for instance, Mike Gundy's long, great tenure at Oklahoma State ends with his retirement, and Ryan Silverfield has that kind of year. Places like that are coming calling.
Oh, well, yeah, that's definitely a thing. I mean, let's say, Brett, that, maybe not even the highest expectations of beating Florida State. That would certainly put them on notice. But if Memphis has the season we think they're going to have, they're a very successful team, maybe one loss to Florida State. They run the table the rest of the way. They're in the college football playoffs. They have all these eyes on them. They look at what Silverfield has done before this season, which has gotten some criticism, weirdly enough, from the fan base. But you look at what he's done before this season, then you look at this
feels like
season.
a long time ago now.
It sure does. But you look at what he's done this season, and if he gets that college football playoff, and is competitive or not, whatever, in that first game, there are absolutely going to be big schools calling and seeing if he's interested in a job.
Dr. Scott's got to have
you got to be ready for that
proverbial 3 or 4 at the ready, working with the agent world. Working with the contacts that he's attained over this really illustrious career and a resume that is quite spectacular. Next thing for me is with the basketball program with Coach Hardaway. Let me be clear: Penny Hardaway is going nowhere, and he shouldn't. There's no job. He's not playing for a job next year. And here's what I want Dr. Scott to do to him, with him. Okay. Over the next couple of weeks when they meet and they start establishing a relationship, I want him to be clear with him. And I'm just using round numbers here. I don't know the exact numbers, but people know what I mean by it. Let's say the travel budget for U of M basketball is $300,000.
Okay.
Coach Hardaway, we're going all in. We're all the King's horses and all the King's men. We're going to support you in every way we can. You're at 300, it's going to 500. Yep. Your assistant coaching budget's been 700, it's going to 1.2. Recruit, diet, everything. We're going up in everything. We're removing every single possible impediment for you to be successful. What do you need for me to do? I've got a lot of honeymoon clout right here in the beginning. May have more clout right now than he will have in 2 years, Brian. I hope it's more with success. Yeah. But he may have more. He may more capital right now. I'm going to use my honeymoon capital on you.
Yeah.
What do you need?
Yeah.
Everything you need. Don't play any games. A lot of times with a new coach like this and a coach that and Penny Hardaway's not in disfavor. I don't know the right word because he's not in disfavor, but but he's not enjoying peak popularity right now either. We all recognize that. So a lot of times in the AD world, you come in, you want to play some little hocus pocus games with that guy, and do the opposite. Your travel budget's 4, I'm cutting it to 3. Your assistant coaching budget's this, I'm cutting it to that.
Oh yeah.
And you start out with kind of frayed nerves. Don't do that. Everything. This is Penny Hardaway in Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm going down with a fight and fighting like hell to make sure it works out for him.
Oh, I love that. I mean, I think you got to put him in, put him in that position, and then see what happens. And hopefully,
now, my biggest
it's a
fight
bunch of success after that.
My biggest fight, if I were him, he's got to be careful because you don't have a plan B.
Sure.
If they call your bluff, I go to the Grizzlies. And I love the Grizzlies, and Grizzlies are a big part of everything that we do here. But I go to the Grizzlies and go, now come on now. That deal we have with y'all, that was a 2005 deal. That was different economic times around town, around the country, for people. You know that was very favorable to y'all. We got to work on that.
Sure.
We got to have a little something back for us. And they know that the Tigers have nowhere. You can't go play at the field house, and you're not going to go to South Haven. The Grizzlies know that, but the Grizzlies also, especially with the PR battle over the funding, I don't know that they want to kind of get at loggerheads with anybody over anything. They may not care. I don't know. But I wouldn't think they would. And it's been a good partnership, but everybody knows that was a favorable to the Grizzlies 20-year ago deal. We got to adjust.
Yeah.
Now, come on now. Help us out.
Well, that's a interesting way to look at it, because I was looking at it the other way. I was about to say, well, would they really, consider negotiating that after how much pushback they gave the University of Memphis when it comes to stadiums?
We don't want that family feud. It got ugly a little bit on
it
the.
Did. It
got a lot
did.
ugly.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than a family feud over cash.
Well, that's a good point. Cash is the root of a lot of family drama.
Now, come on, Grizzlies! Y'all are doing well. You got your cake and you got your cake and the secret recipe in the pan in the oven that it was baked in.
Sure.
On the money divvied up.
Yeah.
Help us out a little bit here.
No,
we matter too.
Yeah.
We've been here a long time. We being University of Memphis. I'm speaking as if I were Dr. Scott.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would love that, and I definitely think that should be something on the table that he at least tries to look into and get done. But we'll see. I like this hire a lot, but you mentioned something earlier that stood out with me, and I loved. You said, very sorry for the candidates that didn't get it, and I think that's the biggest thing of this is, when you looked at some of the names that were being reported as candidates and guys that were interviewing for this job, and Brett, we would come in here and say, man, these are great candidates. I love that this name's in there. I love that this guy's in there. And so the fact that I think you had a lot of good candidates and a lot of guys that were, had the qualifications and, definitely could do the job, I thought put you in a really good position. And so now that you finally decided on Ed Scott, I'm very excited with what he could do.
Good luck.
Good luck, absolutely. And I mean, I'm right there with you.
I hope in a few years we're talking about him being the greatest ever.
Yeah.
Just getting it out of this and into a recognizable power would set him up for a lofty status.
That would be massive. I mean, that would certainly put him towards the front. So yeah, I mean, my priorities are a lot similar to yours, and has a lot to do with fundraising and raising money, getting keeping the momentum going, and putting this program in a good position for, like you said, if something happens with the ACC and they're looking for new members of their conference, they can look at Memphis and say, look at that stadium, look at the fundraising they've done, look at where all of their athletic programs are at right now. This is a team we'd like to come here, and with him coming from Virginia, he has that relationship with people in the ACC that I think could get him a good foot in those conversations. So I love this hire. I'm really excited to see what he can do here over the next couple of years. But let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the NBA draft, only a couple hours away from seeing what the Grizzlies do with their 9th pick and if they move up and maybe take a big man from UConn. We'll do that next on Sports Time.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. It's time to ride during the Gossett Mitsubishi Motors Summer Sales Event. Check out 43 MPG Highway in a new 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage, $17,935 or $249 a month. Need extra room for your vacation? Let Gossett make it happen with 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander, $30,490 or $449 per month. And go for miles and miles with 420 total range in 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, $599 a month. Plus peace of mind with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike and 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Military rebate, 500 loyalty rebate. Mirage Outlander 84 months. Mirage RHO 10934. MSRP 18435. Outlander RZO 55981. MSRP 31490. PHEV RZO 35245. MSRP 48065. Includes 1095 acquisition fee. Sale price includes all rebates and incentives. Excludes processing fee of $695. Lease terms includes processing fee of $695. 15 cents per mile excess wear and tear. With approved credit CD for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous, a legendary experience for over 75 years, whether you dine in, pick up, or ship across the country.
For retro cruiser styling packed with modern innovations, riders of all skill levels choose a Honda Rebel. Incredible motorcycles with a stripped-down style and a full package of features. Both the 300 and the 500 offer compact power inside a lightweight frame. Combined with a low-slung seat, the Rebel is easy to start on. And with new colors for this year, they are impossible to ignore. Go to Desato Honda to check out the 2023 Honda Rebels. Cruisers with premium style and performance to enjoy every second. Never use the street as a racetrack. We belong with the owners of the
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Five-Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. Five-Ash Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com.
I got him on the line, Jason, the main man Marshall, and he's ready to rock and Gossett Volkswagen on the pike.
Randy, it's vacation time, so take the road wherever it leads you with 42 miles per gallon on the highway in a brand new 2024 Volkswagen Jetta SE for only $249 a month.
That's an awesome deal at Gossett Volkswagen on the pike. And Jason, my main man Marshall, everybody in Memphis knows when it comes to a great deal, it's all about choices.
Take your pick from 2024 Tiguan S front-wheel drive or a 2024 Taos SE for only $279.28 a month, plus 0% for 60 months on all new 24 Taos. And you know my motto, make me an offer, because nothing reasonable will be refused.
Ask for Jason, the main man Marshall at Gossett Volkswagen, 1875 Covington Pike, online, GossettVWMemphis.com.
Where we're charging for it and charging less every day.
Now back to Sports Time on
Well, the draft is a handful of hours away, and I think the excitement just continues to build for what tonight
He is
could
so
be.
thrilled for Edie.
Me?
Stats, he is so thrilled. No, I'm being
I don't know
facetious.
about that. I saw, but it does lead me into what I wanted to.
Darren, I feel like in a relationship, you eventually have to have that first fight.
I guess
just didn't
so.
see it coming over Darwin Klingon and Zach Edey.
So Tyler Rucker from No Ceilings NBA, which they do a ton of draft coverage and stuff like that, he broke down every single the draft buzz he's heard from all of the top 9 teams. And this does not include trades or anything. So this has the Grizzlies, if they stay at number 9, here's what they would do. Ron Holland, Dalton Knecht, or move back for Zach Edey. I'm telling you, Brett, I mean, I don't feel good the position I'm in my beliefs, because I feel like it's either going to be move up for Klingon or move back for Zach Edey. And I never thought I would be in this position. I'm going crazy right now.
I know it, Brian, and I think people are fibbing if they don't come to the realization, the recognition of one of the things that's scaring us about Zach Edey, and I'm not saying it facetiously this time, is you can't teach 7-3. It's the ghost of Hashim.
Sure.
The ghost of Hashim that still floats around this franchise.
Yeah.
Stats, I think it was more of Hashim and where he was drafted. I think if Hashim was 10, 11, 12, we don't take it to heart as much. It was 2.
Darren, really good point. And then the ghost of Hashim stays around this franchise until all those players we could have got him instead of him.
Oh, yeah.
Until they were all retired.
Mm-hmm.
And that starts with guys that are going to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it absolutely does.
I'm trying to get to that draft. That was, what was Hashim's draft? 09?
Yes, I think.
Hashim to beat. Okay, until James Harden and Steph Curry and DeMar DeRozan retire, everybody's going, we could have had him instead.
That's right.
We could have had him instead. And I know if it hadn't have been Hashim, who it was going to be. It was going to be Tyreek.
And that's who I wanted.
Well, yeah.
Initially, that's who I wanted, Tyreek.
Of course.
Now, we wouldn't be pleased if how his career ended, if it ended like that in a Grizzlies uniform. And it was not Tyreek to try to sell tickets, but he would have sold some.
He definitely
would have sold some at a time the Grizzlies needed it.
No, absolutely would have.
Unlike now, when Cup runneth over, it's great in Grizzlies ticket sales.
Oh, absolutely.
But you had I get down to 17 in that draft and we see what Drew Holiday's doing.
Oh yeah.
And every time until every one of those players are done, we're sitting there thinking, it could have been Harden.
Oh yeah.
Could have been Steph.
Yeah.
And we got this gigantic stiff.
Yeah.
And that does gigantic stiff a disservice.
It does. It absolutely does. Brett, have you seen Matt Ishbia's tweet today? You just tweeted it.
Matt Ishbia that played college basketball for Tom Izzo's national championship team?
I think that's how all of his tweet starts, is I'm Matt Ishbia, who played for Michigan State and Tom Izzo.
Almost like President Kennedy. I'm Jack Kennedy, and I'm married to Jackie Kennedy.
Yes, correct. So here's his tweet. NBA draft night is the best. Everyone talking about the drama and storylines. Some are right and some are just wrong. My turn. Phoenix loves Kevin Durant and Kevin Durant loves Phoenix, and we are competing for a championship this year because we have the team to do it. Gotta love draft night. Go Suns.
And in parentheses, I played on Tom Izzo's national championship team
at the beginning
Michigan State.
And at the end. You got to start and close that every time if you're Matt Ishbia.
It is a lot of fun on draft night. But some of it we're entering into theater of the absurd. And I don't know how absurd this really is, but it's out there.
Sure.
You think I'm going to buy season tickets if the Grizzlies draft P.J. Hall? If this guy's right. Mike Adams, his Twitter handle is at @MAdamsStatGuy. I tweet about random sports stats, commercial and brand partnerships, previously at the Sporting News, NBA, ESPN, etc. Greensboro, North Carolina. He's now with the Sporting News. And, I like the stat stuff that he puts out. Here's his tweet.
Okay.
The Knicks should draft Bronny at 24 or 25.
Oh, Bronny in the first round.
He continues, 2 outcomes. LeBron signs to play with his son.
Yes.
2, Knicks trade Bronny to Lakers for a future first-rounder and a better draft. These are the 2 outcomes, right? That's worth the risk on calling LeBron's bluff. That's his tweet. That's genius.
Man. Oh, man.
That's 140 IQ.
See, I can't claim to be that smart. The only thing
I'm not close to it.
The only thing I said was
I can't even spell Ishbia.
if you're the Celtics, one spot in front of the Lakers where they're supposed to draft Bronny, you take Bronny right before the Lakers do
Right,
it.
we're talking about
and
a
then
6-foot
dangle it
guard
out
that can't shoot.
6'1", Brett. I mean, let's give him the itch.
Please. Do you see side-by-side pictures of him standing by his dad?
Yeah.
It looks like me standing by LeBron.
It would literally look
It's
like me
literally
LeBron.
head and shoulders that LeBron towers over him. He might be 6 foot. When do we ever have draft conversation about a 6 foot, maybe defender as his top forte?
Well, never. But, that's what happens when you're LeBron James' son,
And again, I don't know why this proviso has to be offered, but just in case.
Okay.
I like everyone. I'm so glad the health issue resolved.
Oh, absolutely.
Happily.
100%.
I'm glad that,
Sure.
that we didn't have that tragedy.
Yeah.
No, everybody's for that.
Absolutely.
But at draft time, for the NBA, when you have 2 rounds, you gotta stick the landing.
Sure. It's certainly in the first round, and that's why I'm shocked that that someone would actually tweet out that they should take him in the first round.
The responses of the Knicks starting lineup next year, Knicks fans, y'all are
Ronnie
wild.
James, starting point guard, right next to Jalen Brunson. I love that.
It's the world's most fabulous arena.
Oh, that's right.
MSG.
Nowhere like it. So.
Penn Station beneath us, the world above us.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Now, I'm excited for the draft tonight. I don't know how it's going to play out.
I am too.
But we
really
shall
excited.
see. Yeah, and we'll talk a lot more draft.
This really is a big all the smoke night.
No, it absolutely is. Not just for the Grizzlies, but it feels like for a lot of teams in the NBA. So we'll talk more NBA and draft at 5 o'clock when Rob Fisher joins us. But let's go ahead and wrap up our first hour. When we come back, we'll talk a lot of golf with John Goen from Timber Truss.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
This 4th of July, celebrate freedom with your favorite barbecue store, Memphis Barbecue Supply. Whether you're a grilling novice or a seasoned pitmaster, Memphis Barbecue Supply has everything you need to make this Independence Day unforgettable. From a wide selection of premium chip, chunk, mini logs, pellets, and logs of wood, and over 378 different rubs, sauces, injections, and glazes to choose from. Here at Memphis Barbecue Supply, we have everything but the meat. You can stop by anytime. We're open 7 days a week for your convenience. Our knowledgeable, award-winning pitmasters on staff are more than happy to assist you with any questions you have for your next cook. Memphis Barbecue Supply is located at 7041 Stage Road in Memphis, or you can order online at mbbqsupply.com. Follow us on all the social media platforms for recipes, new products, and barbecue news.
All 650 acquisition fee, Telluride RG 510849, MSRP 38305, Forte LXS RE 780 169, MSRP 21820. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 6/30/2024 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Hey Jeff, I hear you've got the Kia Summer Sticker Sales event going on right now at Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah. Give me some scoop.
Randy, The scoop is I'm ready to put you in a new Kia for less. 2024 Kia Forte LXS 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month. $34.99 due at signing. How about a 2024 Kia Telluride LX 357 a month? $39.99 due at signing. 24-month lease.
Plus 0% for 48 months on 2024 EV9. And every Gossett Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah.
Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah, or online anytime. KiaMountMoriah.com.
Tuning into this station was the first best thing you have done today. This is Sheldon Rosengarten, and I'm with you, Mallory, and we are both with Mark's Benstorff Realtors. You, what's the next thing we can advise people to do if they are selling their home?
The next best thing? Remember, Sheldon, the real estate market is changing, and you need honest, forthright help navigating the new environment. Doing it on your own is like driving a car in a blinding snowstorm.
Correct, you. The upcoming changes will mean a lot for both buyers and sellers, and that's why we always advise people to talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers and make sure that we are one of them.
Sheldon, 2 to 3 real estate brokers? Really? Like 2 to 3 tee shots you always take?
Yes, you. It's important to have a choice, whether in real estate or in golf. Now, back into the fairway, and to find out how you will move you, call him at 497-9756, or find out why they often say when you want the job done, call Sheldon at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. That's 483-0546.
To shop at Genesis Tires. Lowest interest rates on the plus 0 interest for 5 years with nothing down. Tires running out of enjoy this Sunday to do this. How about a $6,000 GIA
store for details.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square. Fun, friendly, exciting, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs for all your favorite games, 24 taps for all your favorite beers, including NA and local craft beers, and an in-front-of-the-wall full bar for all your other favorite beverages, including a full wine list. Add in an upscale menu, patio seating, daily specials, and events, and you found all your sports in the one right place. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square, Highway 70.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Brian Davis.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Brian and Brett with you in our Family Leisure Studios, and joining us now to talk some golf and make our weekly picks. John Goen from Timber Trust joins us now. John, thanks so much for joining us. How are things down at Timber Trust this week?
Things are good. Been a, obviously a little bit slower week with the heat and everything, but been able to still keep working out on the golf course and doing a few things here and there. Got right around 0.4 of an inch of rain with the system that just kind of rolled through today. So that will help things a little bit, but obviously the nice part is that'll help keep us off the cart path for all those that really enjoy being able to drive out on the fairways and everything at Timber Trust. So, but yeah, I mean, golf course is good, and we'll look forward to kind of the weekend before the 4th of July weekend. So, busy kind of stretch kind of coming up, and then we'll have aerification on the 8th, right after the 4th holiday, and then we're kind of wrapping it up for the year, and it's almost, you're looking July and August, and next thing you know, it's football season and November. So
out on the patio, watching ball games and playing golf. John, that rain today, it looked a lot better on the radar than it did when you emptied the rain gauge, didn't it?
Yeah, I tell you, So, this morning, I mean, this is kind of the day and age in which we live, but, we showed up this morning kind of first thing, and we were kind of toying around with a couple things and decided to go ahead and spray just our normal weekly application on greens. We spray greens twice a week with some growth regulator and some other stuff. And so we kind of decided to roll the dice a little bit, but just to go, you know, we've discussed this numerous times, so I'm probably beating a dead horse here a little bit. But you know, you look and it's supposed to start raining at 8. So then you're kind of like, well, do we do this or do we not do this? And then we're looking at the radar and we're like, this doesn't quite seem right. So we're like, we're just going to go do it. So then, you know, then it pushes to 9, then it pushes to 10, then it pushes to 11. Well, we were done at 8. We need about a 3-hour window for the plant to be able to take it, you know, in through the leaf tissue a little bit. And, you know, then we can get rain or we can irrigate or do whatever. So, you know, sure enough, I mean, it doesn't hit till 1. So, I mean, we were in good shape. So I'm glad we were able to kind of get out and do that this morning. But, you know, it's so funny when you're kind of looking at some of those things and you're like, there's no way this is happening, you know?
And that's big budget stuff too. That's expensive misses when you miss.
Hey, so, you know, I have a guy I talked to out of Charlotte, and, you know, they had a group of folks that actually went to the Weather Channel some time ago. And you're like, you know, do you realize that you probably cost the golf industry about $500 million total in revenue through the course of the year because of your forecasts?
Right.
And they're like, well, we don't really care about that. We're trying to get people to check back in. So it could be a 0% chance of rain, fully sunny day, and they're automatically kind of baking in a 20% just to be able to get you to come back and visit and see, well, when's it going to rain? When's it going to rain? When's it going to rain?
And to watch what 5 live Dopplers do, John. Dave Chase used to say when he ran the Redbirds, whatever the weather, when you just walked outside at 4 o'clock, looked up in the sky, that's when people decided whether or not to try to go to the ballpark that night.
Well, absolutely. And, you know, and in today's day and age, to your point, I mean, you know, they're relying on that from a golf perspective. And, I mean, how many days do we get through the course of the year where, I mean, it's supposed to rain at X time and people are like, well, we're not playing golf. And then it happens and you're like, it never rained like the entire day. Yeah, or it doesn't rain until like 7 o'clock at night, and people have held off playing golf all day because, you know, the weather forecast said it was supposed to start raining at noon. So, you know, it's obviously a little aggravating, but, you know, it is the world in which we live as far as people relying on forecasts for, you know, the ability to be able to get out and play some golf. So
it really is mindless to be that married to the 5, 7, and 10-day forecast. John going with us talking golf, and John, last weekend, the hurricane that is Scotty Scheffler kept it going again. It is the year of Scotty.
Congrats, Brett.
Thank you, Bryant. That's
look at how quick he is now. I mean, he's just like.
Well, I didn't want to let it pass.
Heaven forbid, you were the first pick. You took the most obvious guy. Yet I actually get reamed for that in the first pick of the year.
I, mean, I took him after the struggle bus at the U.S. Open, John.
I took him second in my.
Oh yeah, struggle bus at Pinehurst. So he has one off week, and he's on the struggle bus, but he comes back and can shoot 20-something under par the following week and win a golf tournament in a playoff. But I wish I could struggle as much as Scotty does.
When you won double with him. So he's won 6 times this year. He's won 4 since we've been doing picks, and we were smartly. Everybody's won off of him. Right. Darren and the producers have won off of him. You've won, Bryant's won, and now I've won with him.
Boy, I tell you what, he's probably never felt so used in his whole entire life.
When's he play again?
Probably Scottish Open and an Open Championship. He probably goes back-to-back there because isn't that the Scottish Open now basically one of those crossover PGA Tour events? So
yeah.
He's off. Then he'll kind of take a little bit of off time here, and then I bet you he'll resurface. He and Rory can reunite over there in Scotland and.
John, I was watching that tournament last weekend, and I thought through all the years, and you were with Southwind, and all the years for our beloved tournament here, we often would go the weekend before. We never had the weekend afterwards. At one time, this coming weekend, for a long time, was our weekend. Well before you got here, late 70s, early 80s thing. This coming weekend, that last weekend in June was our tournament date for a good stretch in there. I'd sure rather be the weekend before the U.S. Open than the weekend afterwards.
Yeah, but you know what's funny, and I don't know what they've done, how they've done it, or whatever, but I think historically the guys have really supported the Travelers event. And I don't know whether it's I got my brain bashed in the week before at the U.S. Open and I need something to kind of right the ship to make me feel like I can actually play this game again. So we're going to go to River Highlands where, 20-something under par is going to win and I can make a bunch of birdies or what. But, I mean, if you go back and look over time, I mean, this event, whether it's Bubba Watson winning, on multiple occasions or, Keegan Bradley or
Jordan
whomever,
Spieth,
I mean,
chipping in.
Jordan, I mean, so it's funny how this event has been very well supported by the players, especially the week after the Open. But it goes back to the old philosophy of what we've discussed, and two, obviously very long before it was a signature event. But, you're either going to play the week before and the week of a major, you're going to play the major, and then the week after. And, I think for a lot of those guys, it was popular to be able to go into the U.S. Open kind of fresh and then go to the Travelers afterwards because, doggone well, you can kind of get things a little bit more back on track and go play, River Highlands and feel good about yourself again.
Last week when we talked to you, you said you had some buddies that were going up to Nashville for the Live stop up in Nashville. Did they end up going? Did you get a report back? What have you heard about Live's takeover in Nashville?
Yeah, so interesting. They did go. Hot. It was real hot.
Nashville can't help that. We can't, because it could be hot here. But I got the same report that it was very hot, John.
Right. It was hot. The music's fine. You kind of get accustomed to it, whatever. Sold out. Now, don't faint when you hear the number, but it was sold out with 14,000 people. So, interesting from that perspective. Said that the lines for concession or whatever were ridiculous to the point where one of the guys got overheated and had to literally leave early just to have the ability to go find a place to get a water and whatever, and literally had to leave the property. So sounds like logistics were a rather large nightmare up there. And then by the time the lines took hours, and by the time you got to the line, then they were sold out of, either waters or soft drinks or whatever. So yeah, a bit of a challenge from that perspective. It sounds like, they did like the shotgun piece. They were able to kind of, see some folks. They said Bryson hit one like over 400 yards, up there at the Grove. So, but yeah, it sounds like that if the fan experience concession-wise, especially with only 14,000 people, needs to be substantially better. Maybe that kind of, changes the tune on things a little bit.
Right, that squares with, the report I got from my oldest nephew, John. He said it was packed, very tightly congested, completely unorganized. The music was deafening. Only dogs could hear it loudness. But in the same issue with concessions, and the right hand didn't know what the left hand's doing. John, I said this on Monday. This is easy. The PGA Tour knows how to run a golf tournament. So if we could get some sanity back in golf and everybody start working together, we could mix and merge this because, as you know, John, and you were a big part of it, they got the logistics of running a tournament down.
Yeah, which is, it's actually to me a bit surprising that, they've had a full year now that they haven't been able to kind of put the right people in the right places for, for that side of the fan experience to kind of happen. Now, I don't know. I don't know of anybody who's been to another live event, for one. So I don't know whether this is just new because
nor do I.
New venue, Nashville, whatever, or whether this is kind of status quo. I did find it very, very odd, though. And again, it could be the golf course layout, it could be the congestion of the people, it could be whatever. But 14,000 people at a golf tournament is not a lot. I mean, I went to the U.S. Open at Torrey Pines back in 2021 when the state of California was still only allowing 10,000 people, and you felt like that there was hardly anybody on that golf course. So, in a shotgun format with everything else kind of going on, you would tend to think that 14,000 people would be able to spread themselves out over a piece of property rather easily, and not have it be the issue that it was. But clearly, again, there's some logistics things that probably need to get worked out if that's going to make a return.
A lot of heat related issues. My nephew said he saw people really needing to be ferried off the golf course and to some attention being paid to them because of the heat. Now that heat event could happen at a lot of events. John, I know they never give any numbers and never will. What do you think is peak number of people over the 4 days at Augusta National at the Masters?
Oh.
They'd never tell.
No.
I mean, my best guess would be that they're over 4 days. I mean, they probably, I would think, average 40 to 50,000 a day.
That's what I was thinking. 40. That's what I thought.
So you're talking 40. Close to 200,000 people in 4 days.
Yeah, and then when you count the practice rounds and now you count the event the weekend before,
right?
I mean, they're rolling a lot of people through there over 15 days.
Yes. Now, fortunately, they don't need quite the infrastructure for the week before.
True.
As kids are not on spring break and everything yet. But I mean, as we have discussed before, I mean, Augusta's figured it out when basically you go, hey, spring break's this week every single year, just book it. Mm-hmm. And, then everybody can work or everybody can be out of town and rent their homes or do whatever. But, I think that clearly if you're looking for kind of the gold standard of how to run an event
of sports,
go to Augusta and, kind of watch that thing operate for a year or so. And then
here's my worst fear about Live. Well, not fear, almost good enough if they're doing it. I think they're probably telling that big, endless pot of money. Well, we got all this down. Everything's fine. And they're throwing the money at it, and nothing's really getting taken care of.
Well, I mean, like I'm sure in your friend's situation, just like my buddy. I mean, he says he gets an email survey from him, and like the first question doesn't even, I think, revolve around experience. It was just something about, I don't know, but it was just something obscure. Like, what does that have to do with anything about my fan experience at the Nashville event? So
let's talk about getting a cup of water when I'm thirsty.
Right. How about we figure out the concession side to where I'm not heat stroking myself out here, trying to enjoy being a part of your event here.
All right, it's pick time. First up is Darian, and he had a good week last week. He will pick first, and the rest of the year, any two you want.
I love it.
All right. We'll go defending champ, Ricky Fowler, once again. Ricky.
Then to me, and I will go with Tom Kim.
My number one on my power ranking, Brett.
Bryant?
Let's go with a guy that had a great showing last week, could not keep it together through the weekend. We'll go with Akshay Bhatia and see what he can do this weekend.
He was right there. He's won this year. It was before we started doing picks, but he won in San Antonio. John?
Well, I'm going to maybe take a guy who kind of potentially found his game during his third round of 59 at the Travelers, and that's going to be Cam Young.
Cam Young, that 59. Did you watch any of it, John, or you were in the middle of the six-man
Didn't watch
parade?
any of it, but nobody even heard about it, for crying out loud. I mean,
it
there
should
was
have been
nothing
57.
Well, I did read a little bit about how, it could have easily been something, but yeah, no, six-man, those were a couple of long days, just like we discussed in the text thread back and forth.
What were the final score? How'd y'all do?
Championship. Well, okay, so we unfortunately completely hosed ourselves on the first day because we played too well. So we made the championship flight. We were 3 shots back going into the second day and completely imploded on ourselves. But 51-49 was the winning team in a 6-man scramble.
51-49. That's hard to figure. They had to chip in on some par fours then.
Well, I mean, so 15 is easily drivable. I mean, you're hitting probably for a lot of those guys 3 woods, even for some super long hitters, you could probably hit
So they're
5
putting
woods.
for eagle.
Yeah, it's like 282, just straight downhill, downwind. I mean, not super downhill, but it's downhill a little bit. And then, I mean, if you got, we watched the group behind us on Sunday. I mean, heck, there's guys almost driving the 10th green, which is like 360 and change.
Unreal.
So there's definitely some bombers.
Yeah.
That
You got to have that
play.
big driver.
Who can keep it in play. Most definitely.
Yeah. There he goes. That's fun. Length of the rounds, how long?
So we played at 7 a.m. on Saturday, and that one was not terrible. It was like 5 hours.
Okay.
Sunday, though, we teed off at 1:30, and we got done at 7:15. So
that's
a
little less than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
I thought
but
it felt 6
like
hours.
An eternity.
Yeah, especially that heat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Darren, your second pick, your shock pick.
All right, since Cam Young is off the board, that was my number 2 pick, by the way. We'll go Will Zalatoris.
Will Zalatoris, boy, my list is right on so far. Not exactly in order, but close enough. That leaves me. I love him. Bobby McIntyre, Robert
I knew you were
McIntyre.
gonna go with that.
Right?
Let's go Jake Knapp. How about that?
I didn't have that on the list. Jake Knapp. Okay. Jake Knapp's taken, John.
Hope you didn't want him.
Yeah, no, you can have him. I will. Let's see here. I'm going to take old Cashmere Keith here. I will take Keith Mitchell.
Keith Mitchell. And this tournament is the Rocket Mortgage Classic in Detroit. Boy, I hope Johnny's there.
I hope
he gets.
so.
I hope he gets to go. But John, the from now until the Open Championship, the tour's almost taking some time off, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, we've talked about this the last couple of years as the schedule changes happened. Is these next couple of weeks are yawners at the end of the day, and unfortunately for some of us that aren't into baseball at all, I mean, we're begging for August already, for crying out loud. But it definitely you get a little summer swoon here before you wrap up with obviously the Scottish Open, the Open Championship, and then you're going to jump right into the playoffs here pretty quick.
And the Olympics.
And the Olympics, which I won't really probably care to watch at all. And
we're picking it though.
And heck,
the last
right
time
here,
was it the last time or the first Olympics where I picked all 3?
Definitely
I picked all 3 one year.
Because I
the
won
first
last
one,
time.
2016 in
Okay.
Rio. You did.
Yeah, Rio. I picked
you
all
won
3.
$5
I had
million.
like
wow. Holy cow.
it was like Justin Rose. It was Matt Kuchar and whoever the heck else I can't remember. Henrik Stenson maybe.
It was. You won $5 million.
How
You
about
won the
that?
whole thing. First place 3, second place 2,
Look at that.
bronze million.
Wow.
Yeah, you did, John. Yeah, you're really toying with us this year, aren't you?
Well,
No, I'm just happy to
26
be
million.
with you guys every week.
Yeah. Tell our listeners how they can come down and enjoy Timber Trust.
Well, I mean, you got to witness a little bit of the text thread last week, but we were absolutely delighted to have Pat Donahue come down with his son and play in the
Better believe.
2-man scramble last week, and hopefully we'll see a lot more of him through the course of the next few weeks. These summer months as we'll continue the 2-man scramble going. So we got that to kind of kick things off. You can obviously call us 662-895-3530. Was a sellout last week. 27 teams, which was great. So you
Any
might want to
scat carryover?
Unfortunately, no. We played the back 9. There were 3 skins. So I tell you what, our luck with carryovers, we either have some really good players or a lot of us that play mediocre and a couple guys that take advantage of it all the time. So, we feel bad about that. But yeah, so, and we're already, I was talking with Kelly a little bit earlier. I mean, we're already a little bit ahead of schedule this week. So if you do want to get in, make sure you call rather soon because it seems like that we're already on pretty good track to maybe go ahead and sell out again for tomorrow night. But, then, plenty golf looks great for this weekend. Obviously, it'll be a little bit warm again, but it does sound like that maybe the humidity's out for the weekend at least as this kind of front has moved through. So yes, it'll be warm, but hopefully it'll be a little less humid. You can, again, call us 662-895-3530. Visit us at timbertrustgolf.com. We've got the OB Open in conjunction with the Open Championship that comes up in July. We're already got teams signing up for that. So for any of that type of information, events going on at the golf course, things along those lines, make sure you do follow us on our social platforms, Facebook, Timber Trust Golf Course, and Instagram, same thing, Timber Trust Golf Course. You can see all of the information there. It talks about what the entry fees are. They're all 4-person scrambles. This next one, again, you'll pick a tour player that makes the cut within the top 20, and those are your scores for Saturday of the event. But seem to always sell out rather quickly. Always a fun weekend, to kind of tie it in, piques our interest a little bit. It'll be kind of a little bit more challenging, obviously, with the time zone difference, but we'll do the best we can to get the players drawn and everything before play starts there on Saturday. But good stretch coming up, and then of course, like I said, we get a little bit of a breather there right after the 4th of July with greens aerification, but we bounce back awfully quickly after that. So should be great. Looking forward to the next few months, and then, like you said, before we know, it'll be football season and fall golf that everybody seems to love because it's just a great time. Golf courses are always in the best condition around the area, and just a really good time. Boone's fired up about something.
He's ready for football.
That's right.
He is. All we had to do is talk about it. So.
That's right. Well, John, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you again next week.
All right, fellas. Take care. Enjoy this weekend.
Thank
you, John. Thank you so much.
John Goen joining us, talk some golf and make some picks from Timber Trust. And I like our picks this week. I think we got a winner in there. We've been pretty good at
Jake Knapp pick.
Oh, I love Jake Knapp. I mean, early in the year, those January, February tournaments that nobody was talking about.
Yeah.
He was lighting it up. So
and we're picking in June and July now.
Well, Brett, that's a
okay.
great point.
Right.
Maybe I need to remind myself of that. We'll see what he can do this weekend.
Yeah. All you got to do is say, Brett, scoreboard. You're ahead of me.
Well, just barely. But I did tell Darian during the last break, I said, I might just pick 2 guys I want to watch this weekend. I mean, honestly, it's you mentioned it, Brett. I mean,
some thin fields.
It's for the next couple of weeks, it's thin. And
till Scottish and, as John said, Scottish and Open Championship, and then the Olympics and the playoffs, and of course us. But it's thin.
Oh yeah, well, and that's
and I hate it. I mean,
sure.
I want it to work out for the people in Detroit and at the John Deere and up in Kentucky. But this is tough patch.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was looking at the OWGR rankings before, even though I know it's any 2 we want now. And I was looking at him. I think Akshay, who I picked, was 3rd when I listed in order of top OWGR. He was 3rd. He's like 27th or 28th, and so I mean,
the whole tournament's above our line.
Exactly. So it's definitely gonna be an interesting weekend, but it's always a fun tournament in Detroit. It's one of my favorites to watch. So
I hope Johnny's there.
Oh, Johnny! I saw Johnny posted last night. He was at the Detroit Tigers game last night.
I did too.
So yeah, I hope he's able to make it out
Good for
there.
him.
Good for him. But let's go ahead and get to a break. And when we come back, I just mentioned the Detroit Tigers. We'll talk some baseball next on Sports Time.
Sometimes we're so focused on telling you all the great things about Sunrise on Jefferson and Sunrise on Poplar other than breakfast, we forget to remind you that the thing Sunrise does best is breakfast. Breakfast sandwiches on the signature house-made square biscuits, like the usual with bacon, egg, and cheddar, the rooster with fried chicken, house-made pickles, and Tabasco honey, or the plates of French toast or avocado toast, or the huge variety of bowls only available at Sunrise. There's simply no better place for breakfast in Memphis. Well, actually 2. There are 2 better places.
With Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, you can check if you're paying too much for home insurance, because giving you options is the right thing to do.
Oh, you mean like when I let someone with less groceries go ahead and line? Sure, there's a part of me that thinks, if you only need 3 things, maybe go to a convenience store next time. And now
they're sifting through coupons and my frozen foods are about to be not frozen.
But still, it's the right thing to do. So compare rates with Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home in Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Is your house slash your office building? Impossible! Not if you call Wilson's Pro Wash. Your house, fence, driveway, warehouse, store, hotel, even cars and trucks can all be squeaky clean and beautiful after pressure washing by Wilson's Pro Wash. Wilson's specializes in cleaning all hard surfaces, concrete, stone, brick, and mortar, even wood and vinyl siding. Then Wilson's can seal their surfaces so they stay looking brand new. Call Wilson's Pro Wash, 901-524-6799, or online at wilsonsprowash.com.
It's time to have a good time at Mugshot's Grill and Bar in Olive Branch and Carterville. Come by for half-price happy hour 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with domestic drafts and $3 snacks. Then try one of Mugshot's 19 specialty burgers, including the Mugshot Burger. Finish in 12 minutes and it's free. Plus, you get a free shirt. Mugshots in Olive Branch, 6400 Goodman Road, and Mugshots in Carterville, 656 West Poplar. So cheers to great food, good drinks, and fun company at Mugshot's Grill and Bar, where you're always having a good time.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there. To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawa Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawa is a PCUSA church located in town Memphis.
Sportstime on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Brian Davis.
I know we said we were going to talk baseball here, but Darian just said something to me in the break. And it's draft day. We got the guys actually making their way into the building right now. We got the runway.
Sure did.
I mean, it's beautiful.
Are you on ESPN or NBA TV?
I'm on ESPN.
Red carpet special right now.
How about that? Red carpet special. Love that. What else do we? I mean, nothing better to show on television.
It's a big night for those guys.
Absolutely.
They should enjoy it.
But Darian just said this to me. He thinks that Donovan Clingan goes number 1 overall. And I said,
smoke screen.
I said, I don't know what I will lose my mind over more. The Grizzlies trading up to get Donovan Clingan or Donovan Clingan going number 1 overall.
What if the Grizzlies trade up to number 1 and take Donovan Clingan number 1?
I will not be here tomorrow.
Run for your lives.
I don't know. Who knows what would happen to me at that point. But that's
I will love it.
Oh, man. I mean, that certainly would be big time night.
Well, he won't because he doesn't care that I'm alive. But that's when Kleiman goes, take that for wizardry.
Oh yeah, no, that would be wizardry. That would 100%.
That'd be sorcery.
That 100% would. Whew.
Also, addition by subtraction because some bodies are going out of here to Atlanta. Who would leave? Marcus Smart,
Darren. I think so. You know what? I'm going to call my shot, and I'm glad I can do this now because I don't want to put Rob in a tough spot.
Sure.
When we visit with him in about 27 minutes. But I'm going to say it. I have thought it.
Okay.
How can we miss something we never had?
That's a great point. I mean, I guess.
And when he was here, he was bad. He couldn't help. He got hurt.
Sure.
I'm not knocking.
No.
I'm not knocking him.
No.
But he was running hot.
Sure.
I think the Celtics and the parade and them winning it only added to it. I think he might need change of scenery.
Yeah.
And how can we miss something we never had?
Well, that's the biggest part. Is
I've said it about Tiger in our golf tournament. We've had a golf tournament since the late 50s, and we've done it without Tiger.
Yeah.
I wish one time we could have done it with him.
But that is the thing, is like anybody that says like don't move Marcus Smart, it's like you don't even really know what you have with Marcus Smart yet, because he hasn't played, because he got injured last year. And so I guess if there is somebody that you would move, and Marcus Smart is kind of the most likely option.
And he pitched a gigantic fit when he was here
in the huddle. Get mad at everybody because they weren't trying out there.
So we all in Grizz #1 pick, Kling, giving up 4 first round.
I'm gonna sit out on this vote.
You have to vote.
You and Brett.
No, you must vote. You're required to.
I don't think y'all want my vote.
People paid a huge sacrifice for you to be able to vote in this 3-person vote.
Et tu, Brute?
Oh man,
I want him any way we can get him. I just said he's my Hall of Famer.
You did.
I didn't just say it, but I said it earlier.
You did say he was your Hall of Famer.
Which is, a friend of mine already said, really, Hall of Fame? A friend of mine texted me, Hall of Fame? Can we slow down a little bit on that?
Somebody to go to the Hall of Fame.
It's a rule. It's talk radio.
Now, usually we wait till after the first round, but I mean,
That's the NFL
we know
thing.
who the guys are going to be that are taking tonight.
I like your train of thought with Holland, though. He
I like
was
Holland
number
a
one.
lot.
And let me cover every base. And if we stay with Marcus Smart, okay, I want to see
That's right.
the Marcus Smart that we thought we were getting.
That's right. Yes. And next year would be the year to do it.
If not, he's going by trade.
A year from now,
yeah,
it's going to be different in Grizzlies world. It could be different, way to the good, and it could be shake it up time.
Oh yeah. Evan Sideri, who covers the NBA for Forbes, just tweeted this out a couple minutes ago. If the Grizzlies move up from number 9 overall to secure Donovan Clingan, Santi Aldama is a name to monitor in potential packages. Memphis would like to keep Aldama, but there's real interest from other teams. So maybe another name that you would have to part with if you were to move up into the I guess anywhere. If you were to move up anywhere, that'd be a name that could be out as well. So who knows? We'll see what happens.
Luke Kennard.
I love the intrigue.
Zaire is definitely a name. There are probably 4 or 5 guys on this roster right now that are the names to keep an eye on if they're going to move up, because I think any of them could be involved.
Y'all tell me, what player departing sets Grizz fam on fire? We had to say goodbye to fill in the blank. How can we do this? Because we had some crying over losing Darrell Arthur, Dante Cunningham. We get attached to them, and I loved Ron Tillery's sermonette about this. Worry about the primary player. Everybody else is satellites.
Sure.
Who's the freak out from Grizz fam? If you traded fill in the blank.
I think when you talk about like players that would actually be out there as tradable players, I think it's Marcus Smart, and I don't think it's out there. But like, what other name on this roster?
See, I don't think it's Smart, Brian, because of the how can we miss something we didn't really have?
But who is it then? Because they're not going to trade
Zaire.
Really?
The upside.
Wow.
And how long are we going to wait for the upside?
See, I think people would be fine with Zaire.
I got old waiting for the upside.
Exactly, and that's why I think people would be fine if they.
I lost $1,000 when he was drafted. Remember?
Well,
grand.
Yeah, I bet that he would be a top 10 pick. I mean, I'm sorry, Moody. Moody was supposed to be the top 10 pick for the Grizzlies, and they did end up taking Zaire. Long story, Stats. You recall it?
I do. Recall
and Darian, there's no love affair like the one I had for Moody.
Oh yeah.
And on these very airwaves, I had to go to the ridiculous level of player comp. You ready?
remember the player comp.
See, I tell on myself because I can actually remember what I said.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody else just hopes everybody forgets,
That's
and
right.
they usually do. Player comp,
Okay.
Carmelo.
Ooh.
Kind of missed, didn't I?
Is that like this? Is that the exact same as like saying on draft day that he's a future Hall of Famer? I mean, that feels like it's the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
I bet like he was.
Tantamount to it.
Sure
Oh, I wanted Moody so bad.
And I did too.
And he hadn't scratched.
He hasn't. No, you're right about that. But neither has Zaire either.
There was a time we had a texter. I hadn't heard from this texter in a long time. Every answer to every Grizzlies ill was Malik Monk.
Well.
And now he looks pretty
I
right.
was about to say, I'd like to have Malik Monk right
I
about
dismissed
now.
him.
Sure.
Texter, I don't know, he or she. I dismissed the texter for a long time. Is probably in the area, maybe over in Poinsett County, Lepanto,
Oh, yeah.
Malik Monk area, Arkansas for sure. I dismissed it as it was Arkansas number. And kind of chuckled at it through the years. May have been he's sure more right than I was about Moody.
Man, you look at what he just got to stay with Sacramento. Whew.
And Brian, I asked you this question. We got to ask Keith Smith this, and maybe text him a heads up about it because I know Spot Track can do this.
Yeah.
Last year, at Nick Saban, Alabama players went over the $1.4 billion salary mark. That used to be a big recruiting nugget and sales point for him. I wonder what John Calipari's at Kentucky, what that number is in payroll.
That's we talked about this before the show started, and that's a great
It's got to be
question.
double that.
Oh, certainly.
Because
you
the NBA
look
makes more.
Yeah, you look at these numbers that they throw out with these NBA players. It's got to be up
I mean,
there.
today and Malik Monk. I mean, you had Adebayo 166 today.
Oh, yeah.
And you had Monk at 94.
Yeah, and that Bam Bam.
That's $300 million.
You're right. So he's got to be.
And back in his day, you can't forget Marcus Camby.
Yeah, well,
Marcus Camby had to sign
and Derrick
for
Rose.
something. And Derrick Rose.
And Derrick Rose. It's a long list. Speaking of John Calipari, he was on with Brett's favorite punter, Pat McAfee, today. Wow. Brett, did you watch any of that? Because that's
I didn't know it.
I mean, that is a match made in heaven for you.
That
right?
would have been when I go. I don't own a gun, but that's when I go full Elvis on my
Full
TV.
Elvis, absolutely.
To see, did McAfee, was he showing his guns? He doesn't own a collared shirt.
See, I was listening to. I didn't watch. I wasn't like paying attention to the screens. I think he was
Gun
showing,
show?
I think the gun show was out
Was
today.
Cal gun show?
Cal was not gun show.
That's good.
No,
Cal's like me. He's my age. He doesn't need to show guns.
No gun show.
More coverage, better.
But he was talking about a lot of different things, and one thing he was talking about, AJ Hawk asked him, you get these guys.
AJ Hawk was the screen right on his nose.
Yeah, absolutely, Brett. It's always in the same spot.
Darren, you know the TV business better than any of us. Can we back up a little bit on that shot?
Yes. And it's the exact same shot.
Do we have to be as close as his dental floss?
Yeah, well, it's a close shot. So I think AJ Hawk asked him a question about you got these guys that go into the draft and they're you know what they're going to bring defensively, but maybe they're smaller guards and how do you sell teams that they're going to be good defensively? And so John Calipari's talking about it, he goes, I'll use my guy Rob Dillingham as an example. Rob Dillingham, great scorer, great offensive player, but small guy, and everybody asks me what can he do defensively, and I tell you, he's going to be a guy that goes out there and fight because we almost got into a couple fights. And then he says this, and I was rolling. He goes, I know Rob Dillingham's going to be a guy that goes out there and he's going to punch and kick and bite you defensively. And I was like, whoa.
I've got to answer. Why didn't Punter ask him this? Why didn't he do that with the 32-year-old for Oakland?
Oh, that's right. And he did say, he goes, now in college, you're playing teams. They got, 23, 24, 26-year-old guys on the team, and talking about getting older, and it was a fun interview.
Cal's convinced himself he was playing against the Oakland Oaks with Rick Barry from the ABA reunion team,
right. Yes,
not the Oakland
wow.
Grizzlies.
Came out of retirement. How about that? Just to play Kentucky in the first round. So. We'll see. Oh, it was a fun interview, though.
That's our baseball segment.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't mean.
No, draft very pertinent.
Yeah. I didn't know we were
Good
going to
job.
talk this much about the draft coming about. My excitement level has skyrocketed.
I'm there.
For this draft night, just because I have no idea what's going to happen with any of these teams.
Grizzlies trade to 1 and take
Holy
Klingon.
cow. Oh, man.
Do you know what that sets off tomorrow? It sets off this question. Is that the biggest thing in franchise history?
Well, it would be.
Is that top going to Western Conference Finals?
I'm putting together a trade to get
I
number
would say
one.
yes, first blush.
Yeah.
Let me sleep on it.
Let me sleep on it. We'll see.
Let me see it happen
Yeah,
first.
you got to see it happen first. That's the biggest thing. But let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Everyone loves home improvement. South Haven Supply and Warehouse 51 makes it easy. A real hardware store run by 3 generations of a real hardware family where you can get it all. Whether it's repairs, remodeling, or new building, kitchens, bathrooms, tiles, tubs, vanities, sinks, mirrors, lighting, furniture, even door hardware. All the latest designs as well as timeless classics. And if outdoor fun is on your mind, they have the Big Green Egg and Accessories. South Haven Supply and Warehouse 51, 8560 Highway 51. Easy home improvement.
Marty McNade at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown is turning back prices to give you the best deal in this decade.
Doc gave me orders to turn back time with the 2024 Volkswagen Jetta SE. We got it for $249 a month, and it gets 42 miles per gallon highway. That's much better than my DeLorean, Randy.
You got that right, Marty McNade. And I hear at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, you got choices.
Take your pick from 2024 Tiguan S front-wheel drive or 2024 Teos SE for $279.28 a month.
Great Scott, McNade. That's Gossett Volkswagen Germantown on Winchester Road. Plus, get 0% for 60 months on Taos.
Your future's whatever you make of it, Randy, so get to Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or shop online at GossettVWG.com.
The times they are a-changing. Bob Dylan's song is even more meaningful today in the real estate industry. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Mark's Penn Store Realtors. And in the months to come, if you decide to sell your home, you better have a knowledgeable agent to guide you through the changes that are taking place. As I tell people, it's not that you don't know the answers, you don't know the questions. So, if you or someone you know is thinking of selling, talk to 2 to 3 experienced real estate brokers to guide you through the changes, but make sure that I am one of them. I have a highly successful strategic marketing program that can mean the difference in when you sell and what you make. We're also affiliated with leading real estate companies of the world. A relocation network that means added exposure for your home from buyers moving into the Memphis area. Find out why people often say that when you want the job done, all shell done. You can reach me at 483-0546 or MemphisRelocate.com. That's MemphisRelocate.com or 483-0546.
This 4th of July, celebrate freedom with your favorite barbecue store, Memphis Barbecue Supply. Whether you're a grilling novice or a seasoned pitmaster, Memphis Barbecue Supply has everything you need to make this Independence Day unforgettable. From a wide selection of premium chip, chunk, mini logs, pellets, and logs of wood, and over 378 different rubs, sauces, injections, and glazes to choose from. Here at Memphis Barbecue Supply, we have everything but the meat. You can stop by anytime. We're open 7 days a week for your convenience. Our knowledgeable, award-winning pitmasters on staff are more than happy to assist you with any questions you have for your next cook. Memphis Barbecue Supply is located at 7041 Stage Road in Memphis, or you can order online at mbbqsupply.com. Follow us on all the social media platforms for recipes, new products, and barbecue news.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous, a legendary experience for over 75 years, whether you dine in, pick up, or ship across the country.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets, but I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there. To learn more, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Brian Davis.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand.
It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, my big number today comes from Major League Baseball, and it is the number 6. Very close to Brett's big number today, which I already know is the number 9, but my big number is 6. Here is what Jurickson Profar for the San Diego Padres has done over his last 6 at-bats with bases loaded. A 3-run double, a grand slam, a 3-run double, a 3-run double, a 2-run single, and a grand slam. Only one other Major League Baseball player in the last 50 years has had 19 or more RBI over a span of 6 bases loaded at bats, and that was Albert Pujols, who had 19.
That's a lot of total bases in there, too.
Man, that's a lot of total bases and a lot of production from Jurickson Profar.
The Pujols numbers, there's so many.
Yeah.
Well, did we appreciate them? It was so much. It's almost like the Tiger numbers.
I don't think we did. And you're absolutely right. It was just so many that you.
Well, he'll get appreciated when he goes in the Hall of Fame, but when you're playing, it's hard to.
It's so hard, and
in
when
the
it's
moment.
coming like that, I mean, it makes it even harder.
My big number is number 9.
Okay.
The Grizzlies have never drafted since they've been anywhere, even in Vancouver. They've never drafted in the 9th spot. 9th spot way back to 2012, mixed bag it being kind. I mentioned 9, 10, and 11, DeRozan, Hayward, Kemba Walker. You go to 04, Andre Iguodala. You go to 02, Amari Stoudemire. Andre Iguodala, Hall of Famer someday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Stoudemire? Amari Stoudemire?
Oh, yeah.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
1998, Dirk Nowitzki, drafted by Milwaukee. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Sure.
1997, Tracy McGrady, drafted by Toronto, in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And it was a accumulation, but I don't think his Hall of Fame status was really sealed in Toronto.
No, not at all.
So you have to go all the way back to 1964. John Havlicek, drafted by the Celtics, Hall of Fame.
Sure, yeah. Interesting.
Celtics got JoJo White a few years after that, number 9.
Wow. How about that? Yeah, so kind of.
But JoJo White didn't play his entire career for just the Celtics.
So a mixed bag
Hondo did.
with that number 9 pick, but certainly names that I would love to have.
Almost working the do factor, aren't we?
Yeah.
Here we go, 2012, all the way through.
Okay.
Andre Drummond, Trey Burke, Noah Vonleh, Frank Kaminsky.
Oh, Frank the Tank.
Jakob Poeltl, Dennis Smith, Kevin Knox, Rui Abdul-Jabbar Hashimura, Denny Avdia.
Whatever.
Davion Mitchell, Jeremy Sochan, Taylor Hendricks.
Mixed bag, for sure.
Do factor.
Feels
if
like
we stay at 9.
Yeah.
I'm going to be disappointed if we stay at 9, Brian.
Are you really?
Yep.
With those names, yeah.
I won't fire one.
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
What fired you up? Frank the Tank?
Oh, Johnny Knox. It was the Knox.
That's right.
It was the Knox. Knox was a big miss for me. I was,
yeah, I mean, but that's true. I guess
Trey Burke's a good player.
Trey Burke's a good player. There are good players in there.
We don't want good. We want splash.
Denny's a good player. I mean, he's going to be a cornerstone for the Wizards.
Cornerstone?
Well, we're talking about the Wizards,
okay.
Red. I mean, now I do want to talk about this because earlier on social media, a lot of people were talking about John Morant posted the bear emoji on his Twitter, and it was just the bear emoji. That was the entire tweet. And then some of the internet sleuths went and found out that Donovan Clingan had actually followed John Morant earlier today on Instagram. So people were linking that together, and now we have a picture of Jaren Jackson Jr. working the red carpet, also sleeveless, Brett. The cutoff shirt cutoff suit, I guess, for Jaren, interviewing Donovan Clingan on the runway. So, yeah, maybe stars aligning for Donovan Clingan and the Grizzlies.
If. When Rob joins us, if we tell him what we've been talking about in the line of conversation, he may hang up on us.
That's fine.
y'all have lost y'all's mind. That's what he'll think. If they take him, it won't be a late night press conference. It'll be something tomorrow in the lobby of FedEx Forum, wouldn't it?
Yeah, for sure. No,
I'd have to be there for Clingan.
Oh yeah, you would definitely have to be there for Clingan. But yeah, what do you think of this? I don't know if you can see it, Brett. What do you think of the sleeveless suit
from
Jaren?
I don't think I could work that look.
No.
But he
not
can.
Jaren. That's Tripp. That's not Jaren.
Sorry,
yeah,
Tripp.
that's Tripp.
Oh, his
yeah.
alter ego.
But he can.
That? Yeah, no,
and if he's comfortable, that's the look he wants to work.
By all means,
knock yourself out.
Clingan going with just a traditional tuxedo for the big night, so nothing flashy from him.
Just black and white tuxedo. Just
on the inside,
white dinner jacket or something.
No. Just a black.
I've
tuxedo.
always wanted Rob to wear a white dinner jacket on New Year's Eve on a Grizzlies broadcast.
I like that.
Very James Bond-esque.
Very. But on the inside, it does have like pictures and stuff like that. But just a traditional tuxedo.
Go full James Bond and be drinking martinis. I don't know if they do all that.
Well, no, I don't think so. Maybe, you never know. But yes, who knows what we will talk about in the next segment with Rob. It could get off the rails.
Darren, give Rob a heads up on the line of conversation and tell him if he thinks it destroys his credibility coming on with us, we understand. Just give him a heads up. That we're talking Clingan number one in press conference tomorrow in the grand foyer of FedEx Forum.
Here's the question, Brett. Let's just say, complete Woj bomb right when we get off, Grizzlies have traded up to number one. Do you take Clingan or do you take Alex Sarr?
Clingan.
Wow!
No, you take Sarr then.
I tweet for the first time in 26 months.
Stats, I think the conversation changes when you go up to one. When you go up to one,
it doesn't for me.
Wow. All right, so we'll just have to warn Rob.
Warn him, Darren, that we've lost our minds. A collective mind losing.
I let him know we're taking Donovan Walton tonight.
I lost my mind in the first segment when I realized that my night was either going to be Clingan announced as a Grizzly or Zach Edey announced as a
We've lost our minds so badly, we haven't even talked about Kyle Gibson being all over the place today for the Cardinals.
Who's that? I don't know.
Who's that guy?
Who he is. Let's get to a break, and when we come back, we're talking a whole bunch of NBA, a whole bunch of draft with our friend Rob Fisher. He joins us next on Sports Time.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
It's June, and that means it's celebration month. Whether it's graduation from college, a wedding happening, or any other special occasion, take yourself and your merry band downtown to Bell Tavern, Memphis' perfect downtown neighborhood bar. The beauty of Bell Tavern, tucked away in historic Barbaro Alley, is that while it's right smack in the middle of downtown, it's also a quiet oasis with ice-cold beer, an easygoing atmosphere, and signature cocktails you won't find anywhere else. When it's time to celebrate in Memphis, it's time to celebrate at Bell Tavern.
Summer's heating up, and so are the savings at Choate's. We've got 3 incredible offers to make your season spectacular. First up, our Grill and Chill with Choate's Summer Special. Upgrade your HVAC system and choose between a free Yeti cooler or a Green Egg grill on select systems. Then power through any outage with Choate's generators. Be one of the first 50 customers to buy a generator and score a massive 75-inch TV or an iPad. Also, don't forget about our tankless water heater offer. Purchase a tankless water heater from Choate's and receive a premium toilet free. Don't wait. These offers are too good to last. Turn to the experts with Choate's and call 347-8086 or visit us online today for your free estimate. Now introducing Choate's air conditioning, heating, plumbing, and generators. Choate's, let our family serve your family.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give My Lowe's Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not a My Lowe's Rewards member? Join for free today. Visit Lowe's.com/Messi for more details.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event, and it's going strong at Gossett Kia on the Pike. Are you ready to ride in your new Kia with 41 MPG Highway? We Gossett! 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $199 a month, $34.99 to a signing. How about 282 miles of EPA estimated range with new 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month. And 2024 Kia Telluride LX3, $57 a month, both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease. And get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Call Bobby J. He's ready to put you in your new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Rebates and incentives. Lease includes PF 695, 650 acquisition fee, EV6 P561 0964, MSRP 50,200, Telluride RG 510 849, MSRP 38305, Forte LXS RE 78169, MSRP 21820. Plus finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 6/30/2024 with approved credit, dealer stock only.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Brian Davis.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you in our Family Leisure Studios, and joining us to talk some NBA, talk a little about the draft. Rob Fisher joins us on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line. Rob, thanks for joining us. A big night for you, Grind City Media draft show tonight at Southland Casino. You pumped up for the draft tonight?
I am fired up for the draft. You know I'm a big fan of the draft. I'm not a big fan of the draft. I'm not a big fan of the lead up to the draft. I was just talking to someone a few minutes ago, actually, and they were asking me who the Grizzlies were going to take, and I said, I don't know. And I said, and nobody knows. And nobody knows. The last couple of days, every time I've heard an NBA draft guy, either on the radio or on television, they are so exhausted right now. And they are so exhausted that they've learned nothing, because it could all change with one different pick or one team deciding to make a move or something happens. Then the whole thing is off. And so that's what happens with the draft. I'm excited it's finally here, so we can stop the speculation and get the actual results tonight.
Now, your party lasts all the way through the conclusion of the second round tomorrow. You're there for the long haul, right?
No. It goes through the first round tonight. We'll be there till about 10 o'clock, and we'll be shuffling in and out. Tony Allen and Zebo are going to be here, so that'll be really cool. And they'll join us for a couple minutes and be here to see the fans, and look forward to seeing those two guys and just talking about it. Talking about tonight we know who's going to be the next player for the Grizzlies that we'll be excited to see in Summer League.
Yeah.
And Rob, I started with this way back at 3:15 with my top story of the day. Is a year from now, I hope we don't have this much intrigue around the draft, and I hope we're not there at lottery ping pong ball night. But we are this year. We knew for a long time that we would be. And did Darian warn you we've lost our minds today?
Yeah, I've been warned.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been warned.
Tell him. Go ahead.
I've even talked about trading into the number one and getting Donovan Clean.
I'm not mad at it. I mean,
it would be blockbuster. It would be maybe the most momentous night in franchise history.
Man.
I mean, you've heard the rumors that he could go one. Someone could trade up to 3. Someone could trade up to 4. He might get taken 5. He could get traded up for number 6. The Blazers.
If that's going to happen, that's got to start happening soon, doesn't it? Within the next hour and 10 minutes.
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely, especially if it comes to that first pick. So, and who knows? Who knows what the Hawks are thinking? They've brought him in. Maybe it's a smokescreen to see if they could get big offers for the number 1 pick. And I mean, that's the thing. You don't know until it happens. And so that doesn't shock. If Donovan Clinton is your guy, and the Grizzlies tend to move to acquire their target, if that's their target guy, can they come up with a move good enough to move however high they think they're not going to need to go? I mean, would you be comfortable just moving up to 3, thinking he's not going to go 1-2?
Man, you raise a good point. If he's your guy, then I think you got to move up pretty far.
How big is the club on deciders in the Grizzlies building? Is it 1-2 man club on the deals and on the picks?
Stats, I really don't know. I don't know.
Because they don't let anybody know.
Well, I mean, that's the thing.
I applaud it, Rob, because we saw the Grizzlies for a long time that it was a leak machine. I mean, it was a dam about to break. I mean, it was just leaks everywhere. Now you get nothing.
They used to announce, when they were working guys out for the draft, and they didn't do that this year. All the workouts were quiet. I mean, the only time you could learn about it is when Hoops Hype would report it. That guys worked out and found stories of guys working out. But, I mean, everything's kept pretty quiet. And I'm fine with it.
I am too.
That's the way it is. And that's the way it is for everybody. Mm-hmm. It's not like the Grizzlies are keeping me out in the dark, but they're telling everybody else. it's everybody. They keep everybody out in the dark.
You don't want to announce
things very quiet.
I take it you do not want to announce. Let me make this clear. Rob does not want to announce that Robert Parra will be at the party tonight and he's got his black Amex out.
I would love for that to be the case.
Oh, man.
I would love that. That'd be fantastic if he was here. But he's probably very busy. I mean, man hasn't made his money by not being a busy man.
Sure hadn't.
Yeah, that's right. So, Rob, if the Grizzlies stay at number 9, who do you think is the guy? If Klingen's taken early, they stay at 9, who's the guy at 9?
Well, hopefully Dalton Connect is available.
Yeah.
And that would be the guy that I would say. I think the four that I look at going into tonight, Klingen being one of them, who's not going to be there at 9, so you're going to have to make the move to get him. The other one is Dalton Connect. Devin Carter is a guy that I really like as well. And then if you got to pick him at 9 because he's the guy you want, and you got to pick him at 9, Zach Edey.
I'm fine by it. If you like him, take him. There's no need being coy and playing the waiting game. And Rob, I have contended for a while now that the ghost of Hashim lingers over this franchise. Don't worry about that. Don't let that come into your mindset.
Well, you're exactly right. I mean, you're going to hit on some and you're going to miss on some, and that was the big swing and a miss, no doubt about it. But I mean, that happens, and it happens with the draft. It just happened at a very inopportune time for the Grizzlies. But the Grizzlies aren't the only franchise that's happened to.
That's true.
I mean, you could list just about everybody. And yeah, it was disappointing, and it's something that we remember because it was a disaster. And the bottom line is there are people paid a whole lot of money to make these decisions for this organization and to help this organization win. And when they screw up something like that, I mean, some people took a fall. Some people, weren't able to be in that room anymore. I mean, things change. You can lose your job by making bad picks. So nobody wants to make the bad pick. Everybody thinks they got the right guy. Everybody thinks that they've scouted their guy, and they have. They've done more work than any of us, and they get paid a lot of money to do it. And I trust their decisions. And sometimes though they're wrong. And that was a year that it was wrong for sure.
Yeah, and I said earlier today, Rob, that I think until all those players out of that draft, notably Steph Curry, James Harden, DeRozan even too, until they retire, we're always going to look back at that draft. Oh, we could have had him. We could have had him. And it kills us. And you can't undo it.
No, you can't. And that's the thing, too. That draft was loaded.
Loaded. We've gone down. Drew Holiday.
Yeah. I mean, so many bad things that came out of that and how bad that was. But,
Jeff
they missed. Swung and missed big time. And it hurt the franchise.
It did.
And you know what? They didn't swing and miss the next time they got number 2. And
sure did.
And already what it's done for the franchise and what we expected to do in the future for the franchise as well.
Rob, I don't know the first time I said this, but I think it was after the jaw injury, and we knew we were going to be in the lottery. It was going to be a draft year. Whoever they take, I want next year, late in the season, in March, when people start thinking about, well, who's rookie of the year, I want whoever they draft tonight to be in the mix for that next March.
I think that's fair. I mean, when you're drafting number 9 and the Grizzlies, I think one thing you can know for sure about tonight's draft, as far as the Grizzlies are concerned, they're not going to take a project. They're not going to take a guy that's going to sit on the end of the bench and not contribute. They need a guy who can contribute right now. So if you get a guy that's contributing right now and it's a good pick, sure, should be in that conversation at the end of the year. I always say you want them in the rookie game, but that's a pretty big field. But to say that they're at least in the conversation for rookie of the year, absolutely. You're picking in the top 10 and you're picking a guy I expect that is a contributor to your team. And if that's the case, and you're a contributor to a contender as a rookie, you should be in that conversation.
This ain't going to be an issue going forward because the G League Ignite's not going to be around any longer. But you look at some of those guys that were at G League Ignite last year, most notably the two that are the lottery picks, Matas Buzelis, who is mocked a lot of places to go 5th to Detroit, and then Ron Holland, a guy that I really like and a guy that I've said I think is a guy the Grizzlies should look at if they are at number 9. How do you think those guys are evaluated with the G League Ignite? Because I feel like us, just viewers watching these games, we kind of forget about them because nobody's watching G League Ignite games. We're watching college basketball. We're seeing, UConn and Kentucky and those guys. How much do you think that has hurt those guys or helped those guys when it comes to the NBA draft?
Well, I think they're both going to go lottery, so I don't think it hurt too bad. Yeah. I mean, scouts will find you.
Sure.
They'll find you from any school or G League Ignite was pretty much built so NBA teams could follow these kids and evaluate them on the G League level and be closer to them. So I don't think it hurts. I think it's too college games that we're playing college basketball. But it is what it is, and they had the opportunity to go pro early, and decided to do that. But I don't think it hurt them at all. The one thing that concerns me though is I think both of them, and Holland especially, because Holland seems to be linked to the Grizzlies in some mock drafts, and he's at least in that neighborhood of where the Grizzlies are going to be picking. He seems to me, at least a lot of people are saying, to be that type of player, and that's just. I think that's off the table. I think if the word project comes up, I think that's just a no go for the Grizzlies, and especially with the night pick tonight.
Rob, won't we know later tonight, tomorrow, kind of the stamp of approval around town and around the league on this pick? It won't be one of those, well, let's wait and see how it plays out. We will know content or discontented pretty quickly, won't we?
Well,
Rob, you're breaking up just a little bit on us.
I'm sorry.
Are you moving? Yeah.
Am I good now? Okay.
Now, a lot of background.
Really? Okay. Hold on.
There you go. You're in a good spot. Stay right there.
Stay right there.
I won't move. How many players picked would bring content?
That's a good question.
Klingon, right?
Klingon, Connect, Dillingham. Staying at 9, or no? You're not getting Klingon staying at 9. There's about a half dozen. Brian, who would you be contented with?
Oh, I'd be contented with several guys that if you're moving up.
I'd be content with Edey. Brian wouldn't.
I wouldn't. But yeah, I mean, I think the guys y'all have named certainly.
I mean, that's not a lot.
No.
So, and if the Grizzlies have their mind on somebody else that we haven't mentioned, and they decide to take them, and it's. Again, who are we to say, well, they don't know what they're talking about?
We can't. That's right.
But
we will.
They're the ones that are doing the job.
Yeah.
I mean, everything we're doing is guessing. And, like I said, all of a sudden, pick 3 comes tonight, and it's not Reed Shepherd, and the whole thing's out of the way.
Yeah.
And then who knows what happens from there. So, so much can happen, but I hope it's I hope there's Grizzlies movement, and I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't. I mean, they seem to be very active on draft night, and for all the assets you've collected over the years, now's the time. If you're waiting to use those assets, wait until you're ready to win. Well, now is that time.
That's
so
right. If you got the power and you don't use it, no need in having it.
Absolutely. So use what you need to use to get the job done to make this team a contender, and that's what I expect to happen this offseason.
Yeah. Talking to Rob Fisher, he joins us from the Grizzlies television broadcast, also Grind City Media. And fellas, we have our first Woj bomb of the afternoon, evening.
Why didn't I get the notification?
It's a good question. Maybe you're like me, muting him on draft night.
No.
Maybe a little too early. Oh, interesting. Lost in the shuffle. Free agent forward OG Anunoby intends to sign a 5-year, $212.5 million contract to return to the New York Knicks.
The Knicks
Sources
think they're close.
tell ESPN this comes one day after they traded to get
the whole
Kyle
team.
Bridges. What did you make of last night and now the move to keep OG?
Well, what I wonder is, does this make Hartenstein available? And would he be in play for the Grizzlies?
He's gone. Yeah.
Suddenly the Grizzlies don't get a big tonight and go another route. Well, they still, they're still in need of a big, in real need of a big. So you wonder if that put him in play. So that's where I look at it being very interesting. I mean, Knicks are acquiring a pretty good team, and if they're healthy, they look like they could be a lot of fun to watch next year. putting that Villanova group back together.
That's right.
But they think they're right behind Boston. They're 10 paces back.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how much the injuries really had to do with it this year. How close they could have been. I don't know, but this makes them better. This makes them closer. If they might be the team in the East to give Boston the closest shot.
If they don't, you know who's going to get the blame. It's going to be Tibbs. Tibbs grinding them down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, plays with too many minutes.
Yeah.
You can get ready for that. Rob, did you have a final release of your mock draft?
Ooh, good question, Brett.
No, I didn't. I did not.
Did you ever have an original release of a mock draft?
No, I didn't. No chance. I can't. All I would do is I look at everybody else's and just see what everybody else is saying and quote other people because, man, a lot of people do a lot of work on this. But shout out to Parker Fleming, by the way, who does a lot of work on the NBA draft, and his NBA draft preview was fantastic. So check that out on Twitter. It was great. But yeah, I'll read everybody's work. Everybody that's been doing hard work for the last month. And all those exhausted people who are all going to be wrong tonight. They're all like weather people this time of year. They're all wrong.
And they don't. And these draft people don't have 5 live Dopplers.
No, they don't. No,
they're just winging it.
They're doing work, grind work. Yeah, grinding it out. And what do they got to show for it? Well, I got 3 out of 30 right.
And that's a win.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good Lord.
Rob, we have had an absolute blast with you joining us at this time since the end of the year. The next time we hear from you and visit with you, we think, will be at SEC Media Days on that Thursday as we're doing Roundtable with me and you and Bryant and Richard Cross. Have a great time tonight, and I know you're going to have fun, and it feels like we're on the verge of something consequential.
Let's have fun. Hopefully it's exciting tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Just see what happens because whether they pick at 9 or don't pick at 9, I think it's going to be an exciting night for the Grizzlies.
It absolutely will be. Rob, thanks so much. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Rob. Have a good one. Thanks, Rob Fisher over at Southland. That's going to be fun tonight. It feels like
he's definitely somewhere.
Something's really brewing, doesn't it?
Oh, Brett, I mean, I can't even think anymore. I don't know what's going to happen tonight. I just know I'm not going to like it. I've settled on that,
I'm going to love it because I playfully pick at the Whiz Kids. Mm-hmm. They've gotten a lot right.
Well, and I mean, if they do what everyone thinks they're going to do tonight or everybody wants them to do tonight, they should be praised as the Whiz Kids because if you make those moves to get high enough to go get your guy, then I think you're qualified to be called the Whiz Kids.
Then we will need the blessing of good health and good fortune on and off the court.
Yep.
And then going to need a lot of luck to get through the Western Conference playoffs because we know it will be a juggernaut. It'll be a belt line.
It's going to be a war every single game in the West. And that's just how good the West is. You've got And you look around, all the teams that were in the playoffs last year, you've got Houston right there, not behind. That's very clearly, whether it's Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, or somebody else, it looks like they're trying to make a big splash this offseason. The Spurs have 2 picks in the top 10 to go alongside Victor Wembanyama. I mean, there are a lot of teams that are going to get better in the Western Conference, and the Grizzlies have to be one of those teams that, because obviously very different reasons than like the Spurs were bad last year. Spurs were bad last year just because they didn't have enough pieces together yet. Very different between the Grizzlies, but Grizzlies got to make that jump next year from what they were last year, and I think they will, and tonight will be a big night going towards that.
DeMichael Cole with a great tweet last night, 9:21 p.m. last night, he tweeted, the West might have 12 teams win 41 games next season. Help us all.
I mean,
it feels like that.
Again, I mean, every night you never know what to expect, and that's what makes the West fun, but it's also what makes it just so hard to compete in, you know?
And it is. Yeah. It is very hard to get through that, and then you get through it, and you got to play somebody like Boston,
That's
and
right.
the Knicks think somebody like them.
Crazy.
Rob Fisher joined us.
Anti-Knicks today. I'm anti-Klingon and Edie today. Brett is anti-Knicks.
Brett has been hard on me today.
That was my team as a child, too.
That's right.
That was my team with Bill Bradley and Clyde Frazier and
Little
Willis
Phil Jackson.
Reed.
Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson, the journeyman center.
Oh, man.
Six man, Dick Barnett. That was my team. Rob Fisher joined us on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest line, and with Sissy's Log Cabin, they can't wait to get back to FedEx Forum next year for Tigers and for Grizzlies game. Official jeweler for the Memphis Grizzlies and FedEx Forum with that floor seat lounge. Also the official jeweler for the hometown team, the Memphis Tigers, and part of all their broadcasts on their network and on their games. The fabric of the community. Got that great new location. Not as new. We were there when it opened in December at 4542 Poplar. Bill Jones and his team here to stay. Some kind of in and out overnight. Not Sissy's Log Cabin. Part of the fabric of the community. Supporter of Tigers athletics, of the Grizzlies, and good friends of ours, and we appreciate them so very much. 9,000 square feet in Laurelwood with expanded lines for Rolex, Cartier, diamonds, and much more. The Mid-South's largest selection of one-of-a-kind jewelry, engagement rings, wedding bands, necklaces, earrings since 1970 with all the locations across the Mid-South. Sissy's offers a selection of estate jewelry and fine gifts, unsurpassed value, exceptional service, expansive selection, and an extraordinary shopping experience because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Well, let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, we'll talk about what's trending.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows. Stay up to date with station events and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Belting. They keep you moving.
Marty McNate at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown is turning back prices to give you the best deal in this decade.
Doc gave me orders to turn back time with the 2024 Volkswagen Jetta SE. We got it for $249 a month, and it gets 42 miles per gallon highway. That's much better than my DeLorean, Randy.
You got that right, Marty McNate. And I hear at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, you've got choices.
Take your pick from 2024 Tiguan S front-wheel drive or 2024 Teos SE for $279.28 a month.
Great Scott, McNate. That's Gossett Volkswagen Germantown on Winchester Road. Plus, get 0% for 60 months on tows.
Your future's whatever you make of it, Randy, so get to Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or shop online at GossettVWG.com.
This 4th of July, celebrate freedom with your favorite barbecue store, Memphis Barbecue Supply. Whether you're a grilling novice or a seasoned pitmaster, Memphis Barbecue Supply has everything you need to make this Independence Day unforgettable. From a wide selection of premium chip, chunk, mini logs, pellets, and logs of wood, and over 378 different rubs, sauces, injections, and glazes to choose from. Here at Memphis Barbecue Supply, we have everything but the meat. You can stop by anytime. We're open 7 days a week for your convenience. Our knowledgeable, award-winning pitmasters on staff are more than happy to assist you with any questions you have for your next cook. Memphis Barbecue Supply is located at 7041 Stage Road in Memphis, or you can order online at mbbqsupply.com. Follow us on all the social media platforms for recipes, new products, and barbecue news.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. Fiveash Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
With Progressive's Home Quote Explorer, you can check if you're paying too much for home insurance, because giving you options is the right thing to do.
Oh, you mean like when I let someone with less groceries go ahead and line? Sure, there's part of me that thinks, if you only need 3 things, maybe go to a convenience store next time. And now they're sifting through coupons and my frozen foods are about to be not frozen.
But still, it's the right thing to do. So compare rates with Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event, and it's going strong at Gossett Kia on the Pike. Are you ready to ride in your new Kia with 41 MPG Highway? We Gossett! 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. How about 282 miles of EPA estimated range with new 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month. And 2024 Kia Telluride LX 357 a month, both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease. And get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Call Bobby J. He's ready to put you in your new Kia today. Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike online, KiaCovingtonPike.com. If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars. Rebates and incentives. Lease includes PF 695, 650 acquisition fee, EV6 P561 0964, MSRP 50,200, Telluride RG 510 849, MSRP 38305, Forte LXS RE 78169, MSRP 21820. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 6/30/2024 with approved credit, dealer stock only.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Belting. They keep you moving.
Good afternoon. Still working with a couple of wrecks out here. It remains heavy over here with volume on 240 East between Poplar and Walnut Grove. Just expect that for a little while longer as traffic cranks up to the south of Memphis, 55 down through DeSoto County as you head through South Haven. That looks pretty decent. Getting on to 385 Billmorris Parkway going outbound towards Collierville's been in pretty good shape so far. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry right here in Memphis specializes in bridal ring purchases. They've been around since 1984. David and his family, they know what they're doing. Go by and see them. You can trust them at Weimer's Jewelry. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Left in our show, an hour and a half until the draft starts, 2 hours till the first pick is made, if I had to guess. They like to take their sweet time with the number 1 pick. And maybe this year, more than others, because who knows who's going to be picked number 1, and who knows what team is going to be picking number 1. It's going to be an interesting night.
When do we get inside the window? If it's going to go down, it has to start.
Like if they're going to trade up to number 1?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're getting that at like 6:30, 6:45 probably.
Clear of us.
Yeah.
Hour or so?
Yeah. I would say so. Yeah, probably.
If there's going to be movement, we got to start moving.
Sure, yeah. And I mean, I could see like the deal being done and then like nobody reports it until like right when the draft's starting to like everybody fired up and tuning in. That sounds like something Woj would do.
Woj
ain't going to get out scooped by Sham, so
no, this
he's
is
not
Woj's
waiting.
night.
This is definitely Woj's night, and I can't forget to turn off my notifications from him.
And it doesn't hurt. The carrier makes it his night.
Oh, for sure.
And
I mean,
he's got to win
helps.
tonight.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely helps, but man, you got to turn
Shams, you can win free agency.
You got to turn your notifications off because, man,
tonight's Woj night.
You're going to get scooped.
In 10 days, you can have free agency.
I also have, like, my television, or instead of, like, having regular cable, I have, like, the DirecTV stream or whatever. And so,
I
like,
got it too. Yeah.
I'm already way behind, even, like, regular televisions. And so now when on top of, like, regular people that have regular television knowing, and then me having to wait, like, 30 seconds after that. Now you got, Woj out here tweeting it out 3 minutes before the pick's in.
What league am I in with direct? Is that
You're
regular?
Yeah, you're regular.
So I'm ahead of you?
Oh, you're ahead of me by like 30 seconds to a minute.
If not more.
I'm gonna text you every spoiler alert.
Please don't. I'll block your number, Brett.
Please don't block me.
I won't block you. I'll just mute you and then text you after, very frustrated.
Hey, Brett, I got something for you that came out of the conversation with you and Rob. So you wanted the pick, regardless of who it is, to become obviously a player in the Rookie of the Year.
Just
correct?
in contention.
Just in contention.
In the conversation.
Lowest Rookie of the Year by draft spot ever. Do you know?
Ever?
Whoa. Give me a year.
Okay, I got all time 1958. Modern day, modern day.
A little closer than 58.
I can give you something closer modern day, but initially, okay, I'll give you the first one. 1958. That was Woodrow Salisbury.
Would have never guessed it.
He was the 60th pick, 8th round.
Did he do anything after that rookie year? Because I've never heard of
Yeah, he actually won the 66 championship with the Boston Celtics.
How about that?
Yeah.
Wow.
They absolutely did. But modern day, it's actually number 36, Malcolm Brogdon. He's the lowest drafted player to win Rookie of the Year.
Good player.
That's quite an achievement.
Sure is.
So you could get one at 9. That was my point. You could get a Rookie of the Year player at 9. We've had one at 36.
Yeah, we need some luck.
Need some luck.
Always need a little luck.
Always. I'm ready for the draft. I'm a little nervous, but I'm definitely
Will you
ready.
buy your ED jersey?
You asking me?
More likely jersey to buy.
I buy an
Klingler or
Edie jersey, and I wear
Neither.
I wear it as a gun show.
Okay. All right. All right.
Which would get in this area would get a little little shaky for people. That could scare people out in public.
If I'll make this deal, if the Grizzlies draft Zach Edey tonight, because I think Klingon is.
Don't say anything you're going to regret.
I will buy.
Don't say you're going to burn anything.
No, I'm not going to burn anything. I'll buy a Zach Edey jersey.
But not Klingon.
Not Klingon. But I don't want either. But I think if I'm betting,
I'm fine with
I
both.
feel safe that they're not going to bet Edey. I'm not.
I almost celebrate. And Brian, I think this is, with me and you, a little bit generational. For me, when I talk about, about Nick from my team, everything, most of my life centered around it in the late, great Al McGuire's term, the aircraft carrier.
Of course.
And it's just not that way anymore.
No.
I mean, it's a wing game.
It's guys that can stretch it, and neither of these guys stretch it. You're absolutely right.
And I love the big players.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I love big guys too. From back when I was a kid, but this modern age in the NBA, I mean, it's not. Maybe it's coming back around. You hear people saying that bigs, the traditional
Speaking of
bigs
big,
are going to be.
Have you seen any of the film on the 7'9" youngster at Florida?
Oh yeah. He's from was playing at IMG. Yeah, he's from Canada.
He doesn't even jump
He's
to
French
dunk
Canadian.
it.
Yeah, no,
he just turns around and sets it in the goal like you're in your Nerf basketball goal in your bedroom.
Yeah, no, he's a long guy.
And can move out and make
he definitely can. Yeah.
6 or 8, 9 foot jump shot.
Yeah.
Well, shot, not jump.
And I want to know more. I haven't looked into it at all. But
7'9".
I want to know more about his story because not many people were recruiting him. And then he ends up signing with Florida. And it's when he committed, nobody was really talking about him going to Florida. It's I'm curious what the deal is.
And everybody that was around, either sitting courtside watching, covering games, it was quite a difference between Yao Ming and say Keith Lee or Akeem Olajuwon.
Right.
I mean, they were really, really tall. And then there was Yao way up there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then you got this guy 4, 5, 6 inches taller than Yao Ming.
Crazy. I mean, I don't want to see
7'9".
I don't want to see Florida in a couple of years if you got him in the paint, roaming the paint.
Can't you just kill him on inbounds plays with lobs?
It feels like it. Just
unstoppable, isn't it?
Sit him in the middle and block shots, grab rebounds, and throw lobs to him. Seems like a good. Heck, worked for Purdue, so maybe.
Edie got better
Florida.
year over year.
He sure
the
did.
exposure he got year over year really
I'm
helped him.
saying I didn't say he did.
Even the heartbreak of last year up in
Yeah.
Columbus when the Tigers were there,
Mm-hmm.
his rebound story, his resurrection story was a
Mm-hmm.
good one.
Sure. No, it definitely is. I just got to.
But you could care less.
I not that I could care less. I just need to see it in the NBA to believe it. I do. And maybe it'll work. I mean, I hear everybody saying that, the Grizzlies are in a much different position than a lot of teams, and you saw Steven Adams have success here, and, a guy that's just going to go grab boards and do this and that, and Zach Edey's that guy, and, just a big body that can grab rebounds and kick it back out. But
What analysts do we want talking tonight? Who do we want out there getting the talk time? If you divvied up the pie chart, who should be getting the most? Are you going to stay at ESPN or are you going to go to NBA Network?
I'll probably flip around and see who's on each set because it's ABC, ESPN, and then I think last year, I don't know if they're doing it again this year. Last year they had 2 different broadcasts on ABC and ESPN, and then NBA TV. So I'll probably flip around and see who's on.
Andy Katz right now on NBA TV, and he's big on Dalton Connect.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. I like Dalton Connect. I mean, I would love him at Memphis. I think that'd be a great fit. He's one of the guys. I mean, there are 2 guys at 9 that I say if you stay at 9, you go get, and it's Dalton Connect and it's Ron Holland.
Right now, they have a full screen graphic up of Bronny James. Height, weight, age, position, college. You know what they're listing his height at?
6'4".
Yeah, something like that.
Is it 6'4"?
Come on now.
Is that really what they're listening at?
They are.
Wow, 6'4", Bronny James.
There's fibs, and then there's whoppers.
Yeah. I am one that, like, it's not going to bother me if and when Bronny James gets drafted in the second round. But what you were saying earlier about let's draft him in the first round, the Knicks.
And do the trading.
Call his bluff.
Nah, that's crazy. That's crazy talk right there.
I think it's bold talk.
It's certainly bold. I don't know if it would work out, but it might.
Brian, I think I may have something that'll make you feel better about
please.
Klingland and Edie. Blind resume quickly.
Please.
Okay.
Is this just between them two?
No, not between them two. Two big men that were drafted 2022, 2023 draft. Okay, just giving you points and rebounds. One, 8.7 points, 8 rebounds a game. That's the first player. Second player, 10 points a game, 7.9 rebounds.
Okay, hold on. We got to go through this again because I have to write this down or I'm going to forget immediately. Okay, hold on. So we got player A and we got player B.
Player A.
All right, hold on.
8.7.
Hold on. A, B. Okay, so player A, give me player A stats.
8.7 points.
Okay.
solid 8
Okay.
on the rebounds.
Okay.
And I even give you blocks, 2.4 on the blocks.
Are you writing on your tablet?
Yes, he is. He is dynamic.
That's impressive.
I'm going to forget it if I don't. And I'll just be like, oh, yeah, player X,
Brett,
I got a scratch piece of paper. I'm writing on.
Yeah. Well, it's that generation thing again.
It is.
It's both of us, Brett. Okay,
you
player
think you
B.
like big men.
All right, player B, 10.1 points.
Okay.
Rebound, 7.9.
Okay.
Blocks, 1.0.
Okay. These are both guys that were drafted last year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm
sorry, no, year before last, 2022.
Kessler's one of them.
Yeah, Kessler's player B.
Player B is Mark Williams.
Oh, really?
Player A
is
Kessler.
Walker Kessler.
Yes.
Wow.
I love Mark Williams. Mark Williams, a guy that they're talking about. Both those guys are guys that both those teams have talked about trading.
Why? I would love that for
sure.
either here.
Williams. Yeah, I
So that was my point. Edie can give you that. That was my point. He can give you that.
Darren, I think he gives you that not even meaning to.
Not even meaning to. We're just trying to get you to come on board. That's all.
Come on, Brian. Come on.
Brett, what did you say earlier that you need to sleep on? You said something. You said, let me sleep on it.
I need to sleep on a lot of things.
This is something I need to sleep on. Well,
But you like Walker. You like Walker.
No, I don't.
I thought you liked Walker Kessler.
No.
I thought you did.
No, I just said I would be.
Did I need to sleep on buying season tickets? Is that it?
That's maybe what you said. I just said
spending any money. I got to sleep on
I would
it.
feel way more comfortable about drafting Donovan Clingan at like number 22. I think in a regular draft, I think in a good draft, a fine draft, a regular draft that we see most years, I think Donovan Clingan is closer to 22 than he is to number 3. I don't think he's a top 10 guy.
So you think it's all timing for him? That if it's any,
for sure, yes. I mean, I think that's that was
how much hotter can the iron get for him? He's back-to-back national champ, and he would have been drafted high last year.
So you think he's Donovan Shabbat to beat? Basically.
No. I don't want to call him.
You think he's Donovan Fluke?
No, look. Here's my thing. Donovan Clingan might come in and be a fine player, and I could be completely wrong about my analysis of him, my hatred of him. Not hatred. That's so strong of a word.
Right.
I just think if you're the Grizzlies and you are talking about a starting center for this team, Donovan Clingan is not the guy. There are way better options to get at center.
I think he is with
than
this
Donovan
young group.
Clingan. He might be. I could be wrong.
And wingmate Jaren.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
We're not talking wingmate being Stromile.
Well, you're right about that.
If Hardenstein's available, do you go all out for him?
I take Hardenstein any day.
So you take Connect at 9 and Hardenstein.
That was the name floated back in February from a lot of people in the organization.
Oh, for sure. If Hardenstein becomes available, he's target number 1 for a lot of teams. I think you got to be target number 1 for the Grizzlies.
We're getting close to the draft. We're getting close to the 4th of July and the big celebration of our Independence Day. And everyone at All-Star Chevrolet wishes everybody out there a happy and safe 4th of July as we do celebrate our independence, our great country's great day on the 4th of July. We all can drive into summer with something we really want from All-Star, where all the new Silverados are. Some marked down 12% off invoice. It's one sweet buyer's market. Financing is low. It's 1.9, no payments for 90 days on new Silverados, Equinox, Trailblazers, and about everything on the lot. Nothing beats family trips in that new Tahoe. Extra $500 back instantly to military, to grads, to college students, first responders, healthcare workers, and teachers as we start getting ready to go back to school. No matter what pre-owned you're looking for, you can find it at All-Star during the All-American pre-owned sale at All-Star Chevrolet and Olive Branch. First exit on Highway 78, Kraft Goodman Road, and you're there where all the Jeeps and Ram trucks and a 4Runner, a ProMaster cargo van, they've got them all in Olive Branch where you can test drive all those vehicles. Bring All-Star any vehicle you want to sell, and you get a check instantly. Everyone at All-Star looking forward to the 4th of July and our celebration. Don't miss out on All-Star Chevy's All-American sale in Olive Branch. Go to allstarautogroup.com for more information.
Well, let's go ahead and get to our final break of the day. When we come back, we'll wrap up today's show with Taco Bell Crunch Time.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to real sports talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Planting solution? The Case IH 2150 Early Riser Planter combines the industry's most accurate planter technologies with a rugged row unit for fast and uniform emergence. The Case IH 2150 Early Riser operates at your speed and adapts to unique field conditions so that you can maximize your yield potential. Stop in or call Mid-South Ag Equipment at 662-890-3141 to learn more. That's Mid-South Ag, your Case IH Equipment headquarters.
Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, Automatic Gates Construction tailors custom gate solutions for all your residential, commercial, and industrial needs, including repairs, maintenance, and installation. Automatic Gates Construction specializes in designing and installing automatic gates and fencing that seamlessly blends security, functionality, and aesthetic appeal. Elevate the safety and efficiency of your property with a premium gate solution. Automatic Gates Construction at myautomaticgates.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many. Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. guaranteed fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Summer's heating up, and so are the savings at Choate's. We've got 3 incredible offers to make your season spectacular. First up, our Grill and Chill with Choate's Summer Special. Upgrade your HVAC system and choose between a free Yeti cooler or a Green Egg grill on select systems. Then power through any outage with Choate's generators. Be one of the first 50 customers to buy a generator and score a massive 75-inch TV or an iPad. Also, don't forget about our tankless water heater offer. Purchase a tankless water heater from Choate's and receive a premium toilet free. Don't wait. These offers are too good to last. Turn to the experts with Choate's and call 347-8086 or visit us online today for your free estimate. Now introducing Choate's air conditioning, heating, plumbing, and generators. Choate's, let our family serve your family.
Booting Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety toe boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Times Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Booting Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Brian Davis.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started, so.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This is for all the biggest crunch time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that?
Goodbye! Hello, Haskell.
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin. This baby is over.
The double steak grilled cheese burrito, so good. Double the steak with nacho cheese sauce, seasoned rice, red strips, sour cream, and the 3-cheese blend wrapped inside a warm flour tortilla, with even more 3-cheese blend grilled on the top. The double steak grilled cheese burrito, it hits the spot now at Taco Bell. And at Taco Bell, when they say they are feeding people's lives with unexpected good, they mean it. Bowl food you can't get anywhere else.
Well, Brett, what I learned, I actually just learned it. We've got another Woj bomb. Make sure you turn your notifications on. If you're Brett, turn them off here soon if you're me and don't want to be spoiled by everything.
And we've mentioned both of these with the bingo card.
How about that? The Washington Wizards are trading Denny Advija to the Portland Trailblazers for Malcolm Brogdon and the 14th pick tonight and 2029 pick, sources tell ESPN. I mean, that's a big trade right there for
I think
both
he's
those
got
teams.
good sources, don't you?
I don't think many other people have better sources than what Woj has.
Woj Commissioner's Office on line 2.
That's right. Yes. Pick up the phone.
Pretty good source. And we just talked about both of them
did.
some to a lot today. I don't think 14 has any impact on Grizzlies right now.
No. But Avdija, I mean, I think this is a guy that can be a really good player. Portland, very young, a lot of prospects. I might benefit them depending on which way Portland goes, like which direction they go in. And he might be a big-time piece there for them, so who knows?
Uh-oh. They have Aiden, so they may take them out of the clinging race, too.
That's
Two big
true.
men.
Yeah,
That's right.
That is true.
I learned today the new head of athletics at the University of Memphis, Vice Chancellor for Intercollegiate Athletics, and a very appears to be very impressive hire. And I want to stress we wish him well.
Oh, yeah.
But he's got a full plate, mostly positive, mostly things I think that are attainable, including got to sit down with the Grizzlies and get this arena deal and everything with the Tigers not treated like they're some ancillary part of this community. They are primary, and they need to be treated like it, and that deal's got to be more friendly to the Memphis Tigers.
No, I'm definitely with you on that, but definitely a massive hire for the University of Memphis, and I think a really, really good one. What I could have done without – it's not that I'm like necessarily against this, but it's weird to me. I saw this earlier today on Twitter. NBC announced on Wednesday during the Olympic presentation in New York City, this comes from The Athletic, that as part of its Paris Olympic coverage, Peacock will use AI technology to offer a personalized recap experience for Olympic fans. Your daily Olympic recap on Peacock will use AI and AI voice synthesis technology to offer Olympic fans a customized recap of highlights and events from the games, and the AI voice you will hear will be the AI voice of Al Michaels. How about
Albino.
that?
Yeah,
Crazy.
Al Michaels.
What a world.
And he won't be there.
Yeah, well, it's insane. But we'll get his voice on AI, I guess. So.
That's really the beaming machine, isn't it?
Sure is. I mean, that's taking complete advantage of the beaming machine.
Really is. I could have done without this. Of course, Jacksonville was going to come up with over $1 billion to work on the Gator Bowl Stadium and get everything right, and the cocktail party's not going anywhere. But it's going to be a while. They're going to have to play in an alternate stadium in the 28th season. But, of course, they came up with the money, and the Gator Bowl football game and the Music City Bowl will be in the mix going forward to host for national championships and maybe even expanded playoffs.
Yeah, no, you are absolutely right. Where are you beaming tonight?
The Big Apple.
Yeah.
Not for the draft, though. For Yankees at Mets. In Queens, 27 championships for the Yankees, only 2 for the Mets, 69 and 86. 38 years since Gooden and Strawberry and Dykstra and Mookie and Ray Knight and Wally Backman and all those guys I thought I hated then won it all. 4,765 all-time wins for the Mets, 10,756 for the Yankees.
Wow. That's
over
be,
2-1 all-time wins.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun game tonight. But I'm also beaming up to New York. But I am going to the draft. Big night in the NBA. Big night for the
You're
Grizzlies.
You're gonna be in the green room.
Oh yeah, put me right there in the green.
But the spread's good.
I want one of the suits though. You know that all the players.
Do you?
I want something flashy, something I can open up and got pictures in there and stuff like that. You know, if I'm gonna be in the green
Tell
room,
a story.
Put me in one of those really nice suits. But no, it should be fun tonight for the draft. Massive night. I mean, who goes number one? Who do the
big
Grizzlies
night for
take?
Zach Kleiman?
Where they take? It's a big night for Zach Kleiman. You're absolutely right. So that action coming up here soon. Going to be fun to see how it all plays out.
Big, long day of baseball will end in St. Louis. Braves take game 1, game 2, and the weather's not looking great. It could be a while.
Oh, man. I mean, it feels like it's taken them a week to try to get in that first game. I mean, last night gets delayed. They postpone it to this morning. This morning gets delayed.
There's just so few spots on the schedule to make up games.
Yeah, you're
Atlanta
absolutely
doesn't
right.
come back through. They only come to St. Louis once.
That's right. But that should be fun if they can get it in tonight. But a lot of eyes will be on the draft. And, all right, let's do it. Final time before round 1. Let's go around the room. Brett, who's it tonight? Who's the guy?
Grizzlies move up somewhere and get Donovan Clean.
Darren?
Zach Edey.
Holy cow.
At 9, at that. At 9.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm fine with that.
I say they stay at 9, and they take Ron Holland, a guy that
I'm okay
think
with that.
could be a massive
I'm okay with
player
Dalton
for them.
Connect at 9.
Yeah, I'd be great with Dalton Connect as well. I've said it. Those are my two guys. If you stay at 9, you take Dalton Connect, you take Ron Holland. I think both those guys are going to be really, really good players. But it's going to be a really fun night at the draft. Enjoy that. Enjoy the baseball action if you're flipping over to that. But that's all the time we have tonight. Enjoy your night, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
this is Eric Hasseltine telling you to hurry. Hurry to Genesis Diamonds right now. The clock is ticking on Genesis Diamonds' amazing finance offer. You have until Sunday to take advantage of the hottest offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing. You can get that stunning designer engagement ring starting as low as $67 a month, or a 3-carat lab-grown center diamond, just $99 a month. It's the smartest, fastest, and best way to buy. But hurry, this incredible offer ends this weekend and will not be extended. Only at Genesis Diamonds at Poplar and Perkins Extended.
Everyone loves home improvement. South Haven Supply and Warehouse 51 makes it easy. A real hardware store run by 3 generations of a real hardware family where you can